Hello and welcome back to another stream that's live. We'll call it a live stream. So, as you all just know, or most of you, Tangem's Black Friday sale ended yesterday. But like I said, most brands, not just Tangem, but most every brand has another sale post Black Friday, post Cyber Monday, leading up to Christmas. And Tangem announced that sale pretty much immediately after their Black Friday sale ended, which is a one I'm going to share with you. Now, I will say right off the bat, the Black Friday deal was the better deal because it was 30% off the entire site, plus you got free Bitcoin. But that doesn't mean that this deal isn't awesome too. They've already ran this deal before the Black Friday sale, and they took the best part of their Black Friday deal and they kind of made it their own sale. So, I say it's 60% off, but let me show you how it actually works. And some of you will already be familiar with this exact deal. So this one leads up to till December 21st, so a few days before Christmas. So this is buy one. It's the family pack. You buy one set of 3 cards basically, and you get the second set for free. Now, to actually get that deal, you can't click the 3 card set. You have to go down to this option. It says second set 50% off. However, if you use the link in the description, you get the additional 10% off from my code, which is Cyberskrilla. So it's actually 60% off. So you're getting 6 cards, which is 2 sets of 3 for $97 and free shipping. So the first one, you're paying the full price. You're getting the second set for 60% off, making it $97, which is about the same. That's the price it was for Black Friday. The family pack was basically $98. The only difference with this deal is you're not getting that free Bitcoin that you got with Black Friday. So it's still an awesome deal. You're just not getting that free Bitcoin. But the reason that I like this deal so much is because I thought this was the best part of the Black Friday deal, because with 6 Tangem cards, you get you can make 3 separate cold wallets because you only need 2 Tangem cards to set up one wallet with a maximum of 3 cards per wallet. So with 6 cards, you can either set up 2 or 3 wallets in your Tangem app, and you can manage them all directly in the app. And yeah, it's a great way to diversify your crypto. So you should never keep all your eggs in one basket. If you're looking to spread your crypto across multiple wallets and do that in a seamless, convenient way, I think Tangem offers the best solution because, like I said, you could manage like 50 different Tangem wallets in your single Tangem app if you wanted to. Another cool thing about this deal is you can choose, different sets of cards. So you're technically only buying 2 sets of cards. So the first set, you have to choose either from the Classic Black, which is just the Tangem design, or the Stealth Black, which is one of my favorite designs. It's 1 branded Tangem card and then 2 completely stealth cards with nothing on it. But then any of these limited edition designs also apply to the sale. My personal favorite, and a lot of our community's favorite, as well as this new Snowy Sakura design. But they all work the same, so it doesn't matter. They're just different designs. But the limited edition ones are, limited quantity as well. So if you like that for whatever reason, because you like collecting Tangem cards like I do, then it is a cool deal. But yeah, that's the deal. Family pack, it's buy one, get one, 60% off, and you get free shipping. So pretty cool. But aside from that, I just wanted to jump on this live stream in case any of you had questions about Tangem or cold wallets in general. Doesn't have to be Tangem related. It could be anything crypto related, crypto security specifically. But yeah, any questions you have, definitely drop your questions, comments, concerns in the chat. I'll be happy to take a look at them. 6-8 Shift said 60%. I just bought the Black Friday for 30%. So yeah, it's just the marketing. You got the best deal with the Black Friday deal. You didn't miss out on anything because again, this is basically the equivalent of the Black Friday deal, except you're not getting the free Bitcoin, at least for the family pack. So the Black Friday deal, like I said, is always the best deal of the year. It's not going to get better than that, but this is, in my opinion, the next best deal that Tangem has ever had. Plus, like I said, using the link, my link in the description, you get that additional 10% off, which makes it the 60%. What's going on, John? 60% today. May have to buy this at work now. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you took advantage of the Black Friday deal, if you ended up doing that, but this is a second opportunity if you were planning on getting the family pack. I think you're considering getting the snowy Sakura design, which that my link in the description also just gets you 10% off your entire order. So even if you don't want to take advantage of the family pack, that's buy one get one 60% off, then that link will still get you 10% off everything else on their website. So just received my Tangem family pack. Ducati man, nice. Now you're going to set up 3 wallets with 6 cards. Yep, that's the way to do it, in my opinion. That's why this 6 card, the family pack deal is the best option, because you get to create 3 cold wallets for the price of 1. So super excited for you. My crypto should be safe, spread over 5 Tangem wallets. Yeah, we'd hope so, right? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Felix is wondering, if you bought the Tangem wallet, how long would it take to be here in Morocco? I don't know for sure. So if you go to Tangem's website, and we'll do it right now, but you can go to their website and then go down to this estimated delivery, and you just type in your wherever you live. So Morocco, it's saying shipping starts January 29th. But why is that? Yes, I mean, it's a long time. You're looking at about between 13 days to 25 business days, depending on what you get, it looks like. So if you order this deal, the buy one, get one 60% off, shipping starts January 29th, which I think is weird. But anything else, like if you just get a 2 card set, you're looking at up to 25 days. Or if you get a 3 card set, again, up to 25 days. So that's that. Do you think Bitcoin will be a good store of value looking out 5 years plus? I mean, who knows, right? I would like to say, yeah, that's the general consensus. That's what the majority of people who hold Bitcoin believe. And usually, when enough people have conviction in something, it becomes true. But that's not financial advice. It's just how the world works sometimes. So, I mean, Bitcoin is the number one cryptocurrency in the world. So, if you bought it on December 9th, so you bought it yesterday, then yeah, you're probably still looking. I don't know what the shipping was like yesterday, but you're probably looking 13 to 25 days, because that's what the website says. So that would be my guess. But Tangem has shipping warehouses all around the world, so they're going to ship it from whatever warehouse is most efficient for your location. And I would assume that their most efficient location is at 13 to 25 day estimate. So yeah, probably sometime in the new year, around middle to end of January, you could expect to see that. But I'm not Tangem. I don't have any clue how their shipping and stuff works. I can't give you like ETAs. I'm just going off of purely what the website says for Morocco. But yeah. Yeah, and there's a couple other let's see. Jesus is wondering what the ring deals are. So again, the only deal for this Christmas or holiday deal is the buy one get one 60% off, the family pack. But if you use that same link that's in the description, you can get 10% off the ring, and that's just using the channel discount, which drops the price down from $160. You get it for $135 plus you get free shipping. So yeah, that's the deal. Still a good deal. I mean, anything is a good deal when you're not paying full price, right? But the ring is definitely one of my favorite hardware wallets. I've had mine for about a year now. And if you do any traveling or just live an active lifestyle, I mean, even the Tangem cards are good for that. But the ring, especially because it's hidden in plain sight. There's no external branding on the ring or anything like that. So unless you tell people, it's a crypto wallet ring, nobody's going to know what it is. Um, and kind of the same deal with the cards. I mean, the cards, depending on what cards you get, they say Tangem on them. But if you just keep the cards at home or even in your wallet, like no one's going to really know that you have a crypto wallet, you know. Felix, you are welcome. Yeah, happy to answer your questions. But what was I going to say? There are some other brands that should be having some more sales. Like Ledger's deal is still going on. You can get up to $80 in free Bitcoin with Ledger's sale and using my link. Trezor is also having another sale. I think there will be 10% off, and plus like some free stuff that you'll get with the wallets. I'll make sure to post about that as well. Oh yeah, I mean you should expect these kind of sales every year, right? I mean it always goes Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then pre-Christmas sales, and then they'll probably have some kind of New Year sale, and then yeah, I mean that's usually like the best sales of the year, but Black Friday is always the best, so you should just expect that moving forward. Because I know some people were surprised. They're like, "Oh, I bought my wallet last month. I feel like I got ripped off." You didn't get ripped off. You just paid normal price. I mean, Black Friday is not new, right? So just expect that. Felix says, "What do you think about interest news today and how it will affect the market?" I have no idea. I'm not up to date with interest news, at least for today. So, yeah. Oh, I think I skipped someone here. Silver Pug says, "What do you think of Decent?" One of the only wallets I don't recommend. Yeah, I don't recommend Decent. I don't use it myself. I don't recommend it to like my personal friends or family. So it's not something that I recommend on the channel either. It's 100% closed source, made in South Korea. Um, I've talked to the company. They don't have any plans or hopes to ever open source their wallet. That's just not something they want to do, which to me is weird. Uh, because it's closed source, that means if there is some kind of backdoor or vulnerability, especially even if Decent, which I'm not saying is the case, but if Decent is a bad company or a malicious company, they could technically have access to your keys to your crypto, and you wouldn't even know it, um, because their code is closed source. Now, maybe it'd be different if they were, slowly rolling out open source code, but that's not the case. They told me they're not interested in doing that, so it's kind of it could be a red flag. But I mean, even wallets like Tangem aren't 100% open source, but the app is 100% open source. And with Tangem, the app is how the seed phrase is initially generated, so we can at least see and we have clarification on how the keys are handled. Whereas with Decent, everything is closed source, so we literally don't know how any of the stuff works behind the scenes, which is sketchy. So I'd pretty much choose anything over Decent. Doesn't have to be Tangem. It could be Ledger, Trezor, One Key. I mean, really anything, right? Tommy thinks that the Bitcoin will likely be the world's reserve currency in the future, maybe like a digital gold. That's possible. Do the two cards that come with the ring act as the same wallet, or is a ring one wallet and the two cards are a separate wallet? So again, to set up a Tangem wallet, you need at least two devices. That could be two cards, two rings, one ring and one card. So with a three set, that's still only one wallet. Because again, you need a minimum of two devices, a maximum of three per wallet. So the ring cannot be its own wallet. You need to set up at least a ring and the card to have a wallet. But at that point, you may as well set up everything, because it wouldn't make sense to just leave one card on the table, because that card would essentially be worthless. So, but yeah, they're all the same. So once you set up the wallet, the ring and the cards they'll hold the same keys, so they act as the same wallet. So anytime you want to transact, you could either you could scan your ring, you could scan your card. It doesn't really matter. Are you trading FOMC? No, I'm not. FYI, and this is a good point, just another guy is bringing up, USPS is taking an eternity to deliver shipments, tracking shows in transit with no updated scans for location for over 48 hours. So yeah, this happens every year. This is nothing new. This time of year is the busiest time for the mailing system. I've seen packages take 2 to 3 times longer. That hasn't been the case for me yet. I've been ordering, lots of different things. Um, and actually, my orders have been showing up early. Now, that probably just depends on your location. But yeah, expect your packages to show up later than usual this time of year, at least until, after the holidays are over. So if you are trying to get anything, whether it's a cold wallet or just like Christmas gifts, whatever it is, you should probably get all that taken care of now and stop procrastinating and waiting, because stuff's going to be late. So it is a good point to bring up. This is starting to be very info serialish. Is there going to be any further substantive content? Yeah, I mean, these are live streams. You don't have to watch them. No one's forcing you to be here. So if you don't like it, simply don't watch it. And that's just what I'm doing. There is value in having deals, and I'm going to share those deals with people on the channel. That's what people want to see. I understand that not everyone wants to see that. If you don't care about the deals, like I said, don't watch the live stream, or just ask questions about other things. You don't have to ask about the deals. But to be completely transparent, this is a business at the end of the day. The way that business operates is they have to make money. The way that this channel makes money is when people use my link and purchase a wallet. If that doesn't happen, this channel won't exist. As far as content, I have a whole lineup of content for the new year that will be coming out. Right now, I'm just focusing on the holiday, focusing on sharing these deals that only come around once a year with people. But like I said, you don't have to follow the channel. You don't have to watch the live stream. If you don't like it, you can just, not watch it. So it doesn't hurt my feelings. Silver Pug says Bitcoin cannot be a world currency if all central banks do not support Bitcoin. Why, if it is not backed by something like gold? Yeah, I mean, there's arguments for both sides, and things change over time. Just because something is one way for a long time doesn't mean that, it doesn't change in the future. So that's all I'll say about that. 6-8 Shift, you are welcome. Yeah, let me know if you end up getting the ring. I'd be curious. It looks like you might live an active lifestyle. I don't know if that's actually you in your profile picture on a motorcycle in what seems to be like a forest, but if it is, the ring would be a pretty cool wallet to have. Just another guy. Thanks for all you do on your channel, of course. Happy to help. But yeah, also, I mean, going back to this person's point about it feeling info commercialist, if you have any like video topics that you want to see, or just like content ideas, definitely drop them in the chat. And I'll be happy to consider adding them to the content list. A lot of people that I've had a lot of good video ideas come from the audience. Like some of my best videos have come directly from the audience. So I definitely value all of your feedback. I will say that some people will be like, oh, will you make a video on how to do this? And it's like super specific that probably only them and their grandma wants to know how to do. I will not make a video about that, just because I'd basically be making that video for that one person, which is not a good use of my time. And my goal is to help and impact as many people as possible. So that's the kind of the content that I like to make, is that a lot of people can get value from. So I will say, yeah, if it's something like super specific, like how to claim this one airdrop on this exact day, probably not something that I'll be covering, but I'm sure there's another channel that will cover that. But if you have any concerns or questions about something more general in crypto, then I could definitely consider making a video about that. So I'm super open to feedback. I mean, if you got feedback, I'll take it. But yeah, like I said, if you're just joining, let's see what happened here. Lost my screen. Let me go back. Let's see. I guess I'll just have to go here. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to find something. Mhm. Stop screen share. Okay. Share the screen again. Let's see, is it this one? There we go. Okay. So yeah, again, the buy one get one 60% off deal. They had this deal pre Black Friday. Not quite as good as Black Friday, but it is still one of the best deals Tangem has ever had. The link to this deal is in the description. And I actually don't like how Tangem put this on the website. It's very confusing, but it is the family pack. So you're getting the family pack. You're getting one set of 3 cards for full price, and you're getting the second set of 3 cards for 60% off. I know it says 50% off, but when you use my link, you get the additional 10% off. So it's buy one, get one, 60% off, plus free shipping. So you're getting 6 Tangem wallets for $97.86. And with 6 Tangem cards, I should say, you can set up a total of 3 Tangem wallets because you only need 2 cards per wallet. And the benefit of this is that you can diversify your crypto. Um, like one of the most recent stories is Brandon LaRoque, who's the retired guy who lost $3 million in XRP. It was all of his retirement he had in XRP, which is extremely risky, probably not the wisest thing to do. And then to make things even worse, he had that all stored on one wallet. And that's where crypto diversification comes in. If you have any substantial amount of crypto, and that could look different for you. I mean, $3 million is absolutely insane. But even if you have $1,000, and that's a lot for you, or whatever it may be, you don't want to keep that all in one wallet. You want to split it across multiple wallets. That way, if you do end up making a mistake like Brandon did, because that's the number one way people lose crypto, you don't lose all of your crypto. And that's what this family pack allows you to do. Because like I said, you can set up 2 to 3 wallets, and you can manage both of those wallets in your Tangem app. And my phone is charged, which it's not. I was going to show you that. But yeah, I mean, to switch between the wallets in your app, all you do is swipe left or right at the top of the screen. And it's literally that simple. So each wallet can be set up with its own seed phrase. So it is true diversification with their own keys. Or if you don't want to diversify your crypto, maybe you're just not at that point yet, the family pack can be gifted to someone else, right? You take your pack, and then you could gift the other pack to someone else. So it is a good deal. But also that link in the description does get you 10% off your entire order on anything on the website. So whether you want the 3-card set, the 2-card set, the Tangem ring, or the holiday box, that link does get you 10% off as well. So yeah. But aside from the deal, please drop any comments, concerns, or any questions you have about crypto wallets. Let me know. Unfortunately, comments that are in other languages, I'm not going to be able to translate here on the live stream. So my apologies, but yeah, I'm not sure. You just bought this and it was $70. Daniel, I'm not sure what you're referring to, because that's not true. Unless you're talking about the Black Friday deal where it was $98 and you got the $20 in free Bitcoin, that would have made it as technically $78. But I'm not sure what you mean. So this is $97.86. So it's more than $70. How much VAT tax getting added to US customers by customs? To US customers, I haven't seen any VAT taxes. I've ordered several Tangem wallets this year, 2 of them very recently within the last 2 months, and I haven't gotten anything. So I bought it with no discount. Daniel, I don't see how that's possible, because Tangem has had a discount for the last month. So if you bought it within the last month, then it was basically impossible that you didn't get a deal, because the deal was automatically applied on the website. And it's not getting screwed. Missing out on a deal isn't getting screwed. You paid what you wanted. You got what you wanted for the price that you wanted it at. If you were willing to pay that original price, that means that it was worth it for you. Just because something is on sale doesn't make it doesn't mean that you got screwed or whatnot. Black Friday comes around every time of year. It's not anything new. Um, so yeah, I think you should just be happy, because I'm happy for you that you got a cold wallet and you're on your way to securing your crypto. It's not how much money can I save on getting in the cold wallet. It's how much money can I save by securing my crypto investments. That's what I would be more focused on. Ducati Man says the majority of people here during your lives enjoy and appreciate what you have to say. No doubt is the point of being here. Yeah, for sure, and I appreciate that, Ducati Man, and I understand that these kinds of live streams where I'm talking about these sales, like I said, like not everyone's going to jump on these live streams. That's why they get less interactions for the most part, and that's okay. Um, I don't expect people to watch every one of my videos or to jump on all of my live streams. My goal is always to provide the most value as possible. Now, there's lots of ways you can provide value. That could be information, that could be, deals and offerings, that could be entertainment. Lots of ways to provide value. Usually, with this channel is through education and deals like this. But again, it doesn't hurt my feelings if people don't want to watch the live stream or they want to stop watching the channel. That's completely in their right. There's millions of other channels you could watch. Let's see. I want to buy it, but it doesn't support Arab countries like Jordan. Yeah, I guess it doesn't. So that is unfortunate. There might be a local reseller in your area, but I'm not sure, to be honest. Silver Pug says, when I forgot to mention, when I purchased the family pack, it was Black Friday. Yeah, and again, the Black Friday deal was the better deal, because you got that $20 worth of free Bitcoin. So this is basically the same deal as Black Friday, but you're not getting the free Bitcoin. What are my thoughts on the Bitbox O2 Nova? So I don't have the O2 Nova. I have the original Bitbox. I have the multi-coin version and the Bitcoin only version. I'm not a huge fan of Bitbox. It's just not like the most enjoyable wallet to use. I think there's a lot better options out there. That said, it will secure your crypto. But when I look at wallets, besides the two deal breakers that I look at, which is coin support, does it support the cryptocurrencies you want to hold with it? And then device compatibility, does it work with the devices that you have at home, whether that's your phone or your computer? Aside from those things, like most cold wallets on the market, again, they're going to secure your crypto. That's why these companies exist. So the next thing that you should really be focusing on is the usability and the user friendliness. So if Bitbox, if you like its form factor and its design, then I don't see a problem getting that wallet. I just think there are better options. Like Tangem is way more user friendly. I think the Ledger Flex, or like even the Ledger Nano Gen 5 with the larger touchscreen, is more user friendly. The new Trezor Safe 7 is awesome. And I like wallets that also have wireless capabilities. Like you don't need a cable to use it, or you don't need to plug it in to use it. I think with Bitbox, you have to plug it in to use it. I could be wrong with the O2 Nova though. But yeah. Madrian says, unsubscribe, WTF, all live, sell, no TNX. Okay. Yeah, no worries. Appreciate you being here. ISO20 says, love the content. I've seen your video on how it masks the seed phrase when creating a wallet. Does it do the same when we restore the wallet as well? Thank you so much. Yes, it does. Anytime any sensitive information is shown in the Tangem app, that information is masked. So anytime you're dealing with your seed phrase, whether you're creating a new seed phrase or importing one, yes, it is masked. Silver Pug has a question. Are the extra Tangem wallets for simply to back up the primary card? Family pack, I would use one. The other 5 cards as backups with the same seed phrase? No. So again, how Tangem works. You need a minimum of 2 cards to set up one wallet. So that would be essentially, if you want to, describe it that way, that'd be 1 primary card and 1 backup card. Again, you only need 2 Tangem wallets to set up one wallet, to set up one seed phrase. So with a family pack, that's 6 cards. That allows you to create 3 separate wallets with 3 separate seed phrases. So yeah. Zartan says, I just bought again yesterday, and that's good. You got the better deal yesterday. The Black Friday deal was the best deal. This is not a better deal than Black Friday. This is a similar deal, and it's the same price for the family pack. It's $98, but you're not getting the free Bitcoin. So you did get the better deal yesterday. Just a heads up. If they want more customers and more usage, they should support Arab countries more as they have an open security that encourages everything new. Yeah, for sure. And I know I'm pretty sure they do support a lot of different Arab countries, and I think Tangem is one of the most diverse when it comes to like offering their wallets in parts of the world. I think Tangem is the best at doing this, and they're always trying to get into new locations. So anything new from Era? Saw your vid and really liked it. Yeah, I mean, Era is. They just announced that they are officially starting on the open source portion of their wallet, so they are beginning to open source some of the code. Other than that, I think the Era wallet is still one of the best air gap wallets in today's market. But yeah, that's pretty much what's new with them. I think they had an app update as well. But yeah, the open source code is a big thing that they're working on. Let's see. What is your favorite hardware device with a touchscreen? Either the Ledger Flex or the Trezor Safe 7. The Ledger Flex, it has an e-ink touchscreen with no backlight. So the e-ink is nice because you can see it really well in light, like it's like looking at a piece of paper. It's also really efficient. It doesn't drain the battery as quick as something like a bright, LCD screen or whatever. The downside to the e-ink screens, at least on Ledger, is that there's no backlight. So if you are trying to use your wallet in like a dark room, you can't. But it is a nice screen nonetheless. That said, the Trezor Safe 7 has the nicest screen on the entire market, in my opinion and in my experience after testing the 35 different wallets that I've tested. It's also the brightest screen, 700 nits, compared to the iPhone, which is the iPhone runs on an average of like 1,000 nits, so it's getting into iPhone territory. But yeah, I would say the Flex or the Safe 7, kind of depending on what you're looking for. Why can't Tangem just sell the family pack all stealth? My guess why they don't do that is because they are trying to. They want to have the second option be. Now I don't know if you're talking about like all 6 of the cards, but they want to offer the limited editions or make you buy a limited edition because they probably want to get this inventory out, right? They don't want to hold on to these designs forever, which is why they're offering them on a sale. And then I think why they have to have one branded card in the Tangem lineup is I think, and I could be wrong, but I thought I remember reading that is for like legal reasons, they had to have like the Tangem logo or something on at least one of the cards. I could be wrong. But that's why the stealth set comes with 2 blank cards and 1 branded card, if I remember correctly. But I could be wrong. Do you know if the family pack comes in 2 different boxes, wanting to give these as a gift? Yes, the Tangent pack, it's 2 separate boxes. So you get it's 1 box per 3 cards. So, one box will have your stealth set in it, and the other box will have your Bitcoin Pizza Day set in it. Lava Flame says, could you explain the free Bitcoin reward? Like if I bought the family pack and I don't open it for 2 months, will the free Bitcoin promo code expire? What exactly? Love you back. So the free Bitcoin isn't available anymore. If you already took advantage of that deal, I'll explain how it works. But the free Bitcoin, that deal is over. That deal ended yesterday. This is a new deal. You don't get free Bitcoin with this. It's just buy one, get one 60% off. But the way that Bitcoin reward works is once you submitted your order for Black Friday, whatever day you bought it on, you would receive an email from Tangem. In that email, there are instructions to claim your Bitcoin. And you have until January 31st to claim that Bitcoin. Silver Pug, what's the difference between open and closed source wallets? Open source just means that the code that is used to build a wallet, to build the software, is publicly available, that anyone can review it. So that could be like security experts or developers, other hardware wallet companies. They could look at that code and determine, is it safe or not? Are there backdoors? Are there vulnerabilities? Closed source code is the opposite. It's kept completely private to the company. No one outside of the company knows what the code is, how the wallet works on the inside, if there are vulnerabilities, if there are backdoors. There are arguments for both open and closed source code. Open source code, with the 100% open source code, anyone could exploit a vulnerability if there was one. So that means even if the bad guys were to find the vulnerability first, they could exploit that vulnerability and potentially take advantage of it. Now, that's like the main downside to open source code. The pros to open source code is that these vulnerabilities can be found quicker, hopefully by white hat hackers or people, the good guys, right? And they can exploit those vulnerabilities quicker and in a responsible manner. And they can tell the company, hey, I found this vulnerability in this part of your wallet. That way they can fix it, make the wallet even more secure before it affects the general public or the users, right? Generally, people who bring vulnerabilities, like if they're a serious vulnerability, generally those people who find them are rewarded, or they're incentivized to find these things, and the company will pay them money. It could be a few $1,000s. In some cases, it could be tens of thousands of dollars. So there's generally an incentive to finding vulnerabilities. Whereas with closed source code, the positive to closed source code is that if there is a vulnerability, then the bad guys won't be able to exploit that and take advantage of users. But the downside is, if the company itself is potentially bad or malicious, then they could exploit that vulnerability and take advantage of their own users. Now, obviously, this would be a very short-term mindset for a company to have. Like if a company wanted to remain in business um, for the long term, which you could argue would probably be more profitable and better, maybe, then they wouldn't do that. But like crypto exchanges have come up over the years, and they've been malicious from the beginning, right? Like there have been exchanges that have been created by not so good people. So could this happen with a hardware wallet company? Absolutely. Has it happened? To my knowledge, I don't know of any actual proven cases where there have been malicious hardware wallet companies, but anything is possible. But really, the way to prevent that would be to go with a company that is at least somewhat open source. Like Ledger is 95% open source. Again, Tangem, you could say, is like 50% open source because the app is open source, but the firmware isn't. Trezor is 100% open source. OneKey's 100% open source. So yeah, most wallets on the market, unless they're completely new brands, most wallets have some level of open source code, but a lot of them use secure element chips. I'd say like 95% of hardware wallets use secure element chips. And there's only a few companies in the world who actually build or manufacture these secure chips. And these are the same kind of chips that are used in your bank card and electronic passports and in military applications. Those companies, a lot of them keep their chips, like the IP to their chips, completely secure and on lockdown, because they've spent billions of dollars and literally decades making their chips secure. So if they were to just like open source their chip, or allow these companies that use their chips to open source the code, they would lose their competitive edge, and basically they would be giving away all their research for free, which is why a lot of companies like Tangem and Ledger have to keep a part of the wallet closed source, because like Tangem uses a Samsung chip. Again, they have to sign a non-disclosure agreement with Samsung that they're not going to share any of the code of that chip. Ledger uses an ST microelectronics chip, which is one of the probably the top secure chip manufacturers in the world. And again, to protect that chip's IP, a small part of the code that is used to communicate with the chip is kept closed source. But there are options. There are some open source chips as well, but that's just a long-winded answer of these, the difference between closed source and open source. What's going on, 352 Lambo? Happy to see you here today. Happy Wednesday. I have no idea what that coin is, Lava Flames. So sounds like just another pump and dump coin, but I have no idea. Let's see. Crypto Canic says my ledger screen stopped working. Nervous doing a restore. I'm not sure what you mean on why you're nervous on doing a restore. I mean, a restore is simply just entering your seed phrase into a new wallet. Nothing to be nervous about. But yeah, I have seen other people say that their ledger screen has failed. This is usually, from what I've seen, has been with like their Ledger Nano X or the Ledger Nano S, which are at this point they probably bought it like a few years ago. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, hardware does not last forever. 60% off seems too much. You think there might be problems? No, that's not at all. I don't think you understand how affordable it is to create a card like Tangem. It probably costs them, I mean, to actually manufacture the card itself, it probably costs like a couple dollars. But then you have to factor in packaging and the shipping and all that stuff. So, you know, the price starts to get up there. But a company's not going to do a deal that's going to put them out of business. So no, it doesn't. I don't see how that would. I don't know why you would think there's a problem. It's kind of an interesting thought. What I do think is going on is they want to get rid of their limited edition designs, which is why they do the buy one get one 60% off. It's not 60% off. You're buying one full price and getting the second one 60% off. It's basically the same deal as Black Friday. You're getting the family pack, which is 6 cards, 2 sets of 3 cards. You're getting that for $97.86 plus free shipping. Again, it says buy one get one 50% off, but using the link in the description, you get that additional 10% off, making it buy one get one 60% off. Super good deal, by the way. But yeah, nothing wrong with Tangem. So. Let's see. Jim says, you are a crypto security and cold wallet advocate and educator. So it only makes sense to share financial deals that can help people attain and use cold wallets. Not sure what else that person expects. No, I mean, I get it. Not everyone wants to jump on a QVC live stream and be pitched, be sales pitched, which, yeah, I mean, part of the stream is obviously a sales pitch. Like, here's the deal. If you want it, it's there. If you don't want it, cool. Let's talk about something else. But yeah, people get offended over really weird stuff. So I got the Stealth and the America cards yesterday. Nice. Yeah, the America cards are cool. I thought it was kind of funny when Tangem came out with. I think they came out with it around the election time, which made sense. I'm doing something I shouldn't. Who's going to stop me? I'm having 300 milligrams of caffeine. So things could get pretty intense. Not going to lie. Sartan says, I also like the ring setup. It works amazing. Yeah, I mean, the ring is, in my opinion, one of the most enjoyable and the coolest hardware wallets on the market, for sure. I would like to see, and I think eventually Tangem will have some new ring colors come out. Hopefully they'll make some sizes for smaller fingers. Like, I know a lot of women on the channel have been waiting for smaller ring sizes. So I do hope Tangem does come out with some different colors and some new sizes as well. Maybe even some half sizes potentially. Sunseeker says, hey bro, what is it like to buy a ring and activate it on an existing wallet? Is that possible? If yes, how can this be done? So you can't add cards to an existing wallet. If you already have a Tangem wallet set up, you can't add cards to it. You've already set it up. There is a little gray area where you could kind of make it work. And I'll tell you that. If your current Tangem wallet is set up with a seed phrase, then all you have to do to add a new... Well, before I tell you that, let me just tell you how to add a new wallet to Tangem in general. So if you already have a Tangem wallet set up, all you do is open your app. You tap the 3 little dots, which is the settings button. And below, like one of the second or third options in the settings is add new wallet. So you'll just tap that button and then you just scan one of the cards from the new set and you go through the setup process again, like you did with your first set of cards. It's literally no different. But if your goal is to make your new set of cards essentially the same wallet as your wallet that's already set up, you can only do that if you're using a seed phrase in your current Tangem wallet. And the way that would work is, again, you would go to settings, you tap add new wallet. Then you'll scan like the ring, for example, right? You'll scan your ring, and then you'll tap other options. And instead of creating a new seed phrase, you'll tap the import recovery phrase option, and then you'll import the seed phrase from your current Tangem wallet into your new set of the ring and the 2 cards that it comes with. You'll import that seed phrase into that wallet, and it will be the exact same wallet because it holds the same keys. So it will show as different sets in the app. Like you'll have one card set, and then you'll just swipe across on the top of the screen where your portfolio is displayed, and that'll switch you over to your ring set. But it'll have it controls all the same crypto and all that good stuff. So that's kind of the workaround for that. If your current Tangem wallet is set up without a seed phrase, unfortunately, there's not a workaround like the one I just explained. So. Let's see. Lava Flame says, I have an old link of the family pack. Free Bitcoin order get me if I order it from it will still work and send me the instruction email, or do I need to redeem it? Hold on. I'm just trying to read this because it's kind of a word jumble. If they send me the instruction. Okay, so let me be clear here. If you have the link from the Black Friday deal, and it's still showing, like, let's see if this works. The Black Friday deal was BF 2025. This code is not valid. So if you're saying that you have the Black Friday link and it's still showing that code is valid and you're getting the free Bitcoin, I guarantee once you go to checkout, it'll say that deal is no longer valid. So if you're still trying to take advantage of this deal after the fact, once it's already over, it's not going to happen. I'm talking about the Black Friday deal where you got the free Bitcoin. That deal is already done with. If you already took advantage of that deal, if that's what you're telling me, you already ordered it, you already got that email, then yes, you just go back to that email, you follow the instructions, and you claim the Bitcoin in your Tangem wallet. You don't claim it anywhere else. You can't claim it on Binance. You don't claim it on Coinbase. You claim it in your Tangem wallet. Any updates on Tangem Pay? Yeah, Tangem Pay is already rolling out the virtual Visa card. Make sure your app is up to date. It should be available in certain parts of the United States. Still waiting for Tangem to add Monad token. Definitely reach out to them on social media and let them know. The more people tell them they want that supported, the more likely they are to support it. Silver Pug, you are welcome. Skrilla Manila, you the man. Thank you. Back at you. What are your thoughts on the future of wallets? For example, do they become more expensive or less expensive? Do you think a different technology comes along and changes how wallets are currently? Yeah, it's a good question. I've definitely given some thought to it. And I think, both could happen. I don't necessarily see wallets becoming more or less expensive. I think, they are what they are. I mean, you could have something like Tangem that's $50 or something like the Ledger Stacks that's $400. I think there's a market. I think there's a buyer for all those types of wallets. I don't necessarily see them getting more expensive though. I do think the technology is going to change. What I'm seeing now, and I don't know how this will play out, but what we're seeing is the elimination of seed phrases. So a lot of wallets are starting to create options to not use a seed phrase. I mean, Tangem was one of the first to offer this. But I don't think it should end there. Like we should have, if we're not going to have a seed phrase, that means we need different recovery options, and not just random recovery options, but secure options, right? Because there's a fine line where it's like, okay, you eliminate the seed phrase, But don't worry because your key is stored on your iCloud. So if you ever need to access your wallet, you just access your iCloud. Well, that's defeating the purpose of a cold wallet because if iCloud's ever compromised, since it lives on the internet, that's completely pointless. So I'm not against eliminating the seed phrase, and I definitely don't see a seed phrase being a thing forever. I mean, maybe even the next 5 to 10 years. But if that is the case, we need better recovery options than having like a physical device. Because like with Tangem, if you don't have a seed phrase, your only recovery options are your Tangem cards. But if you lose all your Tangem cards, well, then you lose access to all your crypto. Now, the same is true if you lose your seed phrase. If you lose your seed phrase, you lose all your crypto. But putting your seed phrase on a solid chunk of metal is not technology. It's not going to fail over time. A piece of metal will last you a lifetime versus something like a Tangem card. Yes, it's built to last 25 years, but it's still technology. Technology still has issues. It still fails. So I honestly don't know where we're headed, but I will say what I want to see personally over everything, and this is kind of plays into eliminating the seed phrase, is I want to see crypto needs to be easier to use. And I talk about this all the time. That's how you know we're still early to crypto, is because it's still overly complicated. It's still complex. You still have to look up videos like how to get started in crypto. Like when someone buys an iPhone, most people aren't searching how to get started with your first smartphone. No, like kids are born with smartphones in their hands today. I'm not saying that's what I want to see with crypto, but I'm saying crypto mass adoption will be when everyone is using crypto and we don't even know it's crypto. We don't call it crypto. We don't care how it works. It just works, and we benefit from it in some way. It makes our lives easier. It makes us money. It puts food on our table, like something, right? So I would like to see hardware wallets move that direction, easier to use, because at least in the current state of crypto, if you're doing it how I do it and what I truly believe, which is self-custody, where you're essentially your own bank, you control and own your crypto. It really is your responsibility to keep it safe, and to do that, you need a hardware wallet. But the problem is there's a huge gap, right? There's a huge learning curve of someone just getting into crypto and buying, Bitcoin on Robinhood, and then they find out, oh wait, this isn't secure. I need a hardware wallet. Well, how do I do that? So I think we need to lower that barrier to entry, which is why I'm honestly a huge fan of Tangem. I think they've done a great job lowering that barrier to entry while still having a secure product. So, yep, that's my answer. Let's see. When setting up a seed phrase, does it also make the keyboard? Does it also mask the keyboard, or do you recommend setting up with a Bluetooth keyboard? Yeah, it doesn't track the keyboard. I know it eliminates those features in the app. So some phones have the whatever it is, the keyboard tracking thing. That's all disabled in the Tangem app. Ken Love says, "Is it free to move crypto from one Tangem to another?" No, it's moving crypto, and the fee that comes with that has nothing to do with the wallet you're using. Doesn't matter if you're using Tangem, Ledger, Trezor. The blockchain doesn't know what wallet you use. It doesn't care. It doesn't matter. Transferring crypto does have a fee. That fee is solely determined by what blockchain network your crypto is on. Bitcoin has its own fees. Solana has its own fees. Ethereum has its own fees. XRP has its own fees. And generally, those fees are determined by how congested or how busy the blockchain network is at the time of your transaction. Again, it has nothing to do with your Tangem wallet. So if you're sending something like Solana from one wallet to another, you're paying like 3 cents, right? Super cheap. Now, if you're transferring something like ETH from one wallet to another, depending how busy the network is, you could pay anywhere from $2 upwards of $100. Now, ETH hasn't been busy or like congested in a long time, so the network fees right now are really cheap, but they can get up there when, like during a full blown, bull season where people are trading meme coins on Ethereum, or like back in 2021 when NFTs were going crazy. Like transaction fees on Ethereum were hundreds of dollars. So yeah, it depends on the blockchain network that your crypto lives on, but it does cost money to move crypto. Silver Pug says, was thinking about the ring. My fingers are too big. I mean, if you know your ring size, you could check the website and see if they have your size. I mean, they have, what's the largest size they have? 13, which is, pretty big. That's definitely larger than mine. I think I'm a 10, or maybe a 9. I think I'm a 9.5 or a 10 maybe. But they do have up to size 13, which is about 22.33 millimeters. So, but yeah, if you're just jumping in the live stream, let's see here. Tangem is having their pre-Christmas sale, if you want to call it that. It's not as good as Black Friday, so if you got the Black Friday deal, no need to be upset. You got the best deal, but this is still a really solid deal. It only applies to the family pack, which is you get 2 sets of 3 cards, and it's buy one get one 60% off using the link in the description. If you go to the website, it says second set is 50% off. That's only if you don't use a link. When you use a link, you get the additional 10% off, making it 60% off. Plus, you get free shipping. So you're getting 6 Tangem cards for $97.86. You're getting the free shipping. And with 6 cards, since you only need 2 Tangem cards to set up 1 Tangem wallet, with 6 cards, if you wanted to, you can set up 3 separate cold wallets, all in the same Tangem app, which allows you to have 3 wallets, all with their own seed phrase. This allows you to diversify your crypto across multiple wallets, which is, I mean, I recommend doing for really anyone who has any decent amount of crypto. I've been doing that since I got into crypto back in 2020, and it's treated me well, right? I haven't lost any crypto as a result of using a cold wallet and diversifying it. Or even if you just want a good deal, and you're maybe looking to gift the other set of Tangem wallets, you can do that. The family pack does come in 2 separate boxes. So you have 1 box of 3 cards and then another box of 3 cards. The other cool thing is you can choose which design you want. So the first box, you can either choose the Tangem Stealth cards, which is 1 branded card and 2 completely blank cards, or you can choose the classic design, which is 3 Tangem branded cards. And then the second box, or the second set of cards, you can choose from their limited edition designs. My favorite one is their newest one. It's the Snowy Sakura. And this one comes with their limited edition box as well. The box is designed similar to the cards. So it's super, super cool. But yeah, I think, so they have this deal during Black Friday. I think, and I said every day for Black Friday, I said this is the best deal out of the Black Friday deal. This is that same deal, except you don't get the free Bitcoin. So that's the main difference here. Let's see. I got to find where I was. But first, okay, where are we at here? Embedded, it says, no one talks about dusting. Can you go over the dangers and how to stay safe? So a dusting attack is when basically a scammer or hackers, they'll send very small amounts of crypto to hundreds, thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of blockchain addresses, because all of our addresses are publicly available on the blockchain network. So anyone can just randomly pick an address and send you crypto. So that's basically what they do. They send you a really small amount of crypto, generally something that you already have in your wallet. So let's say you have XRP in your wallet. They'll send a really small amount to your wallet. And their only goal with this is to basically find out more about your wallet address and maybe link it to you as a person so that they can create a targeted scam against you. So simply having dust in your wallet isn't a threat. Like, it's not going to compromise your wallet. It's what can come from that would be the scam. So like, let's say someone sends you a small amount of XRP and then you start transferring that XRP around. Well, when you do that, like if you're transferring it between your own wallets, they can learn, okay, this person interacts with these wallets. So they could, start to target those wallet addresses. But let's say you send your XRP to a crypto exchange and, you're sending that dust to that crypto exchange as well. Well, they can see on the blockchain, okay, this person uses they use Coinbase. So now they have more information on you. So it's really just a way to gain information on you, how you move your crypto and where you move it to, so that they can carry out a more socially engineered and more targeted scam. So again, you can't really prevent anyone from sending you crypto to your wallet. It's just how crypto works, and um, it's not an immediate risk having dust in your wallet. It's just a way for people to better target you in an attempt to scam you. So let's see. Silverpug says I can use, let's say, Ledger and Tangem wallet with the same seed phrase, or is it best, like you said, mini seed phrases? I have about $1,000 worth of coins and tokens. A couple things. First, it depends on your goal. If your goal is to diversify your crypto, it doesn't really make any sense to use the same seed phrase in different hardware wallets because it's still the same wallet. Think of your wallet as the seed phrase, right? The hardware device is just a way that you're managing your wallet, but the seed phrase is the key to your wallet. That's how you access your crypto. So if you take that seed phrase and you put it onto 10 different hardware wallets, those are all the same wallets. So even if one wallet were compromised, all your hardware wallets are compromised because again, if your seed phrase was compromised, it's game over. So if your goal is to diversify your crypto, then yes, you'd want different seed phrases, and you want to allocate different amounts in each wallet. So this is just an example. This is not exactly how you should do it. It kind of depends. But if you have $1,000 in crypto and you have, let's say, 2 cold wallets, then you could just put $500 worth of crypto in each wallet, and you've essentially split your risk in half. So yeah, that's what I would say. If your goal is to diversify, different wallets, different seed phrases. Also, you don't even need multiple hardware wallets. Technically, you could create as many seed phrases as you want using one hardware wallet device. The only issue with this is you can only manage with most cold wallets, Ledger, Trezor, Tangem, you can really only manage one seed phrase at a time. So like with Tangem, if you wanted to manage multiple seed phrases using one wallet, you'd have to factory reset all the cards, then import that seed phrase just to access it. So it's usually just more convenient to have different hardware wallets. But yeah, you can use the same seed phrase in other wallets. There is a caveat though. If that wallet that you originally created the seed phrase in and have your crypto on, if you import that seed phrase into another wallet and that specific hardware wallet doesn't support the same cryptocurrencies, then you won't be able to view those cryptos from that hardware wallet. Even though it's still secured, you won't be able to view or manage it. So any wallet that you're using your seed phrase in, if you do plan on using the same seed phrase in multiple hardware wallets, you would want to ensure that those hardware wallets support the cryptos you hold so that you can manage them. Also, Tangem doesn't support multiple receiving addresses yet, whereas Ledger does. So if in your Ledger wallet you're using 5 different Ethereum addresses, it's very only one of those addresses is going to appear in your Tangem wallet. So just things to consider. But yeah, I think I covered everything on that. Let's see. Wayne says, "Hey Skrilla, hope you're good." Absolutely. I just looked on the Tangent website, and the snazzy limited edition orange colored Bitcoin card is not available. Am I missing something? It should be available. Let me do something though. Let me go here. Let's refresh. Okay, so so yeah, it's there. Wayne, the one with the Bitcoin logo on it, yeah, it's there. It's the first one on the collection. As you can see, it's right here. They have the Bitcoin pizza. The first one is the Bitcoin one, so it is still available. Ty says, if there's no seed phrase, is the recovery tag the next best thing? I'm not sure what recovery tag you're referring to. I know like Ledger has their recovery key, Rider has the recovery tag, Tangem has their card. Again, I don't like having technology be the main recovery option. That's why I like seed phrases, is because it's kind of like going back to caveman style. It's like, yeah, my key's on this piece of metal. This is going to last me a lifetime. That's why I like seed phrases. But having something like a recovery tag would be more convenient. But what happens if that recovery tag fails? You just lose your crypto. I don't think that's a good solution. How to securely store your seed phrase? Um, I mean, once you set up your seed phrase using your hardware wallet, the best way is using a metal seed phrase plate. This one is the Keystone Tablet Plus. But any metal keystone, any metal seed phrase plate that you get on Amazon will work. But yeah, this is the best way in my opinion. This will last you a lifetime. It's fireproof, waterproof, corrosion resistant. It comes with the metal letters that you put in here, and to make your seed phrase. But they have other options that you can engrave yourself or stamp the seed phrase. But you could even make your own using some washers from, some metal washers from the store. So yeah, I think metal is the best option. Hey Skrilla, cool to catch you live. Thanks for streaming about really hard stuff to understand. Hope you're feeling better. Thank you. And yeah, I don't know if I've seen you on the live stream before, but if I haven't caught you live, I'm happy to have you here, and thanks for stopping by. That's good input. Thank you. Do you prefer seed phrase with Tangem? Is the seed phrase better than not using the seed phrase, or are they similar to safety provided? Give me 1 second here. So yeah, personally, I prefer the seed phrase. Like I said, I like to be able to. I don't want to rely solely on technology to access my crypto. The seed phrase, as long as you have your seed phrase, you'll, at least for now, you'll always be able to access your crypto. So that's the main thing. Let's go over the difference. With Tangem, if you use a seed phrase, not only do you have your cards as backup because the seed phrase is stored on the cards, but you also have your physical copy of your seed phrase that you write down, hopefully stored on a piece of metal. That way, even if you lose all your cards, you could simply just buy a new wallet. It could be Tangem, it could be Ledger, and you just enter that seed phrase into your new hardware wallet device, and you can access your crypto again. Now, the downside to having your seed phrase and why Tangem created the wallet the way they did is one of the most common ways people lose their crypto is because they expose their seed phrase to scammers. The simple solution to this is to just not share your seed phrase. If you know to not share your seed phrase or like enter it on some random website or enter it because some scammer is requesting it, then you're okay. That's never going to happen. But what Tangem did is they said, hey, let's just eliminate the seed phrase, and you can it generates a seed phrase. Like it still has a master key. It just is not known to anyone. So yeah, Tangem offers a seedless option where the keys are just generated inside of the cards. And that way your cards are your only keys. So these are your seed phrase if you go seedless. The problem with this, what I don't like, is if for some reason all your cards were damaged, which is pretty unlikely if they're all damaged at the same time, or if you lose all your cards and you don't have time to transfer your crypto out of the wallet, you lose access to all your crypto. You'll never be able to access it again. That's why I like the seed phrase, because ultimately you're limited to how many Tangem cards you can have. It's 3 cards per wallet. But if you have a seed phrase, you can create as many backups as you want. So that's why I prefer the seed phrase. But I know there are plenty of people who love Tangem without a seed phrase. It just depends. Can I buy Tangem wallet from Bangladesh? Let's see if you can. I'll just go down here. Yes, you can order Tangem wallet in Bangladesh. Estimated delivery is 5 to 20 business days. So again, the link is in the description to get this deal. It's the buy one, get one 60% off, or it'll just get you 10% off the entire website. That link applies worldwide, so it doesn't just apply to United States, but yeah, you should be good to go. One question I'm curious about, you only get to choose one hardware wallet, only one. Which would you choose? I'd probably just choose Tangem because that's the one that I already use the most, and it supports all the cryptocurrencies that I hold. So Yeah. Is the Nano S getting obsolete? So the original Nano S has already been discontinued. They no longer support firmware updates for the Nano S. So yes, it is. Not to say that it's obsolete, but Ledger no longer supports firmware updates for the Nano S. So in that sense, it is somewhat obsolete. Lenart says, hello there. I mainly store my crypto on Exodus. Is a cold wallet versus a hot wallet two different? Okay, a couple things. Exodus is not a place you should ever store your crypto. And it's not much different than a cold wallet, especially Tangem. Tangem is probably just as easy to use as Exodus, if not easier. But Exodus, MetaMask, Trust Wallet, Phantom, those are not places you want to keep your crypto. That's where most people end up losing their crypto to scams. The reason is, and it sounds like you might already know the difference between a cold wallet and a hot wallet, but with a hot wallet, the keys that are used to access your crypto are actually stored in the software. So it's stored in your Exodus app on your mobile phone or on your computer on the browser extension. And because of that, it's prone to all the threats of the internet. So if you get any kind of malware on your device, if someone accesses your computer, they can actually gain access to your wallet using that key. This happens all the time. And that's why cold wallets were created. So the only difference between a hot wallet and cold wallet, instead of having your key stored in the app, it's just stored on a physical device. That doesn't really mean anything different for you as a user. It just, in terms of usability, but it does mean a lot for security because it completely eliminates the threats of the internet because your keys are no longer stored on an internet connected device. But with Tangem, you still use an app, and that app is just as easy to use as Exodus, probably even easier. If you are looking to get your first cold wallet, Lenart, Tangem, I mean, ask anyone here on the chat, they'll tell you Tangem is going to be your best option. Tangem is the only wallet that I've seen like people over 70 using, as well as parents are buying it for their kids. So usability wise, it's going to be very similar to Exodus. You might find it even more enjoyable or easier to use. Security wise, it's unmatched, right? Because the keys are stored offline in the secure chip in your Tangem wallet, away from all the threats of the internet. So even if you don't want to take advantage of this deal, the family pack, Lennar, if you just tap on the link in the description, you will get 10% off your entire order. So you could just get like a 3-card set or even a 2-card set for $49, and that'll work just fine. Additionally, anyone who's just looking at their first cold wallet or looking to get Tangem, I have my full Tangem wallet user guide in the description where I walk you through the entire setup process and how to send crypto from an exchange to your Tangem wallet, as well as how to send crypto from your Tangem wallet to an exchange. So literally everything you need to use the Tangem wallet, including getting a good deal on one and setting it up and using it, is in the description. But yeah, my recommendation is get your crypto out of Exodus as soon as possible. And don't be, it can be, a lot of people are fearful to make that switch to a cold wallet. Don't be, just go through the steps. I mean, all the information is here on YouTube. It's really simple. If you're already using Exodus, you can use Tangem without any problems. It's going to be easy. But definitely, if you have any more questions, just drop them in the chat. Happy to answer them. Embedded, you are welcome. 352 Lambo refuses to use KYC because hackers get your identity when platforms are compromised. Yeah, I mean, most of the, like any website that you visit, whether you're KYCing or not, they are getting information from you. And I will say, even the websites that aren't getting hacked, most of the platforms that you sign up for, whether you're entering your email and name, just like simple stuff, or like buying stuff like on Amazon or any website where you're purchasing a product, a lot of those websites are selling your information. So even if you're not KYCing, that doesn't necessarily mean you're safe, because they'll gladly give your information to other people. One more question. Are any of the wallets you recommended have ways to block dusting by not allowing small amounts of crypto into your wallet? That's not possible. The blockchain is a blockchain. It's a digital public ledger. Anyone who has your crypto address can send you crypto. A wallet can't block that. That would need to be changed at the network level, and that's not something that's currently available. The closest thing you'll get to that is certain wallets like Ledger. Um, they can block like spam tokens, but when it comes to dusting, probably not. No, sorry, they won't block it. They'll hide it in your wallet so that you can't see it. It's still there. You can't see it unless you choose to see it. But with dusting, yeah, there's really no way to prevent it. So it's honestly not a huge concern, in my opinion. I don't think dusting is a huge problem. Yeah, I get the upside of KYC, but with all these hacks getting worse, it's not for me. Yeah, again, I mean, the fear isn't just KYC. If you're on the internet, your information is already out there and is being sold. I guarantee it. How to remove dust on a coin I sold from an exchange. I always see a tiny amount when I sell on net coins. You cannot sell below $10. I see 2 cents here and there. Tired of it. Well, it's not always. It's not always a dusting coin. It could just be like leftover amounts. Again, it's not a huge deal. I wouldn't worry about it. It's not going to affect you. Just be aware of scams. Like don't click on scammy emails that are claiming to be from your crypto exchange. Right? Don't click links in your email. It's really that simple. If you do that, you're good. None ya business, bruh. I like that. Says, thank you, Cyberscroller, for teaching about cold storage in general, how to use Tangem. Absolutely. Thanks for joining the live stream and leaving a kind comment. Let's see. Looks like we got a super chat from Driftwood 9705. Thank you. Very generous of you. But Driftwood has a question. What hot wallet would you suggest for a beginner just for quick transactions, not to keep money in? Got the Tangem cold wallet. Yeah, I mean, any of the reputable wallets that people use, right? I've been using MetaMask for basically 6 years without any issues. So MetaMask is an option. And I like Phantom as well. Phantom is another good wallet. Those are the two that I use. So I would say Phantom or MetaMask are good options. And like Phantom, it supports a bunch of different cryptocurrencies: Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum. So if you're interacting with any of those DeFi platforms like on Solana or Ethereum, so the Phantom wallet will work for that. So, and thank you so much for that donation. Again, very generous of you. I appreciate that. Zartan says, do you feel Tangem internal seed phrase is a way to go, or old school with writing the seed phrase? I think I skipped ahead. Let me go back here. But I will answer that question real quick. Again, I already went over this pretty in depth. I prefer using the seed phrase. I don't want to rely on technology solely to access my crypto. I like having a physical copy of my seed phrase so that if my hardware wallet fails, I can still access my crypto. Let's see. Eric says, I had the problem that Wayne Jones had. I had opened the Tangem link from Alex's link to see the Bitcoin Tangem cards. Initially, the link I opened to purchase the cards was from a Tangem post in YouTube. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the link in the description, it does have the Bitcoin logo one. So hopefully you were able to find it. Loyal. So yeah, this is your first time on the live stream. Nice. I appreciate you watching the channel, and always happy to see new faces, or at least new profile pictures on the channel. I've gotten pretty good with recognizing some names. I'm actually terrible with names in person, but I do okay with usernames and profile pictures. But when some people change up their profile picture, it does throw me off. But Loyal X1737, I'll try to remember that. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. Ken Love says, is it possible to view my dollar cost average on Tangem? How can I view plus minus when crypto goes up and down for pricing? So your dollar cost average is not something you're going to view in any cold wallet. To view your profit and loss and your dollar cost average or your average buy-in price, that requires the whatever software you're using. It requires all the inputs. So from the time you initially bought the crypto to any wallet addresses that you transfer to and from, you have to input all of that data so that the software can then aggregate that data to give you your outputs, right? And no cold wallet does that because that would require you to connect all your crypto exchange accounts. And again, if you've moved your crypto across multiple wallet addresses, you would need to input all those addresses just to get that data. Not impossible, just not something. It'd be really confusing for a lot of people. So currently, the best way to do that is using a portfolio tracker, and this is also how crypto tax tools work. So I use coinledger.io, and I have a video. If you just type in how to file crypto taxes on YouTube, my video should pop up number one. But in that video, I show you not only how to file crypto taxes, but how to import all your addresses and exchange accounts. And there is a free portfolio tracker that you can use on coinledger.io. But again, you're going to need to input all that data to see those kinds of things. You can just see, like in Tangem, it does show you your total portfolio amount. It shows you the current price of your crypto, of each individual crypto price. Like if Bitcoin goes up or down, it tells you that. And again, it tells you your total portfolio price, adding all your crypto that you hold. So you can see stuff like that, but you're not going to be able to view your profit and loss. Cash App lifted some Kicks restrictions since they started getting into crypto, and I was finally able to get a Cash App debit card without KYC. That's interesting. That's pretty cool, actually. Nice. Loyal 1737, of course. Loyal X says, hit the likes, people. He's spitting fire for us. Right, I need to create an educational crypto rap song. That would be cool. DJ Skrilla. There's probably already a DJ Skrilla. In fact, I know there is, but just DJ Cyber Skrilla. So many seed phrase to know about. Does Tangem Wallet hold all RWAs? Not sure what RW real world asset tokens. Like what ones though? I don't know. Like if you want to see like what assets Tangem supports, you can do that yourself because everyone always has this question. If you just go to Tangem's main webpage, just tangem.com, and scroll down about halfway, you can search for any assets that you want to see if it supports here. So let's look up what's an RWA, like a MakerDAO, which is MKR, or maybe even Link. Like let's look up, if you look up Link, you can see it supports Chainlink on all these different blockchain networks. Does it support MakerDAO? Is that the right ticker? MKR. It doesn't look like it supports MakerDAO on Arbitrum. It does support MKR on Ethereum or Ondo. So it does support some of them. But I would highly recommend going and searching yourself to find out which cryptos Tangem supports, because that's the first thing you should be checking when getting any wallet is you want to check that it supports the crypto that you hold, right? Because if it doesn't, well, then you can't use the wallet. So Wayne says, just realize that particular orange card is for US customers only. So here in the UK, it's not on the website. Would it be safe for me to buy one off of Amazon? You can buy an Amazon. Of course, I'm never going to recommend that. I've never done it myself. It's more than likely you're going to get, the official Tangem wallet, and the Tangem app does verify that when you order the wallet that the wallet is authentic. It's just not a risk that I'm willing to take because it would suck to receive a fake wallet and have to go through those steps. Again, very unlikely, especially with Tangem, although it has happened with other wallets. Personally, I mean, you do what you want to do. I don't think you'll get the discount. So you probably won't get the 10% off, which if you're okay with, then I'd say go for it. But um, yeah, it's really up to you. More than likely, you'll be okay. Would I recommend it? No. Kind of weird that it's only available in the US, though. It's interesting. Zartan says, I've used Exodus since 2017 until just recently. Tangem is a way to go, better than Ledger and Trezor, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, if you're already using a hot wallet, whether it's Exodus, Trust Wallet, Phantom, MetaMask, like you can easily use a cold wallet. It's not much different. I see the more challenging, the people with the bigger challenge are people coming from crypto exchanges who have never even used a hot wallet. I feel like those are the people with the bigger learning curve. If you're already using a hot wallet, using a cold wallet really isn't any different. The main difference is you just have another device that you're using, but you're still using an app. Managing your crypto still the same. Sending crypto still the same. All that stuff is pretty much still the same. So. Bob Wise says, I have 5 Tangem, 3 card wallets. That's quite a bit. I store all my cards in 3 different places. Can't figure out how anyone could lose all your cards. Yeah, exactly. It's very unlikely, very, very unlikely if you're doing it that way. But yeah, it just a personal thing for me is I don't want to rely solely on technology to access my crypto. So, but that is a smart way to do it, like Bob. Let's see. Tibet Tuber says, what will we do if Tangem app disappears? Well, if you have your seed phrase, it doesn't matter because you can just take your seed phrase and use it on another wallet. That's another reason why using a seed phrase is a good option. Again, the seed phrase is the key to your crypto. As long as you have that, you can always access your crypto. Even if Tangem goes out of business or whatever wallet, you can take that seed phrase, use it in a Ledger wallet, put it in a one key wallet, Trezor. Doesn't really matter as long as it supports the same cryptos. So that would be the first thing I'd say. Another thing is that the Tangem app wouldn't necessarily just like disappear from your phone if they go out of business. And the basic functions of the Tangem app, like sending and receiving crypto, do not rely on Tangem, like in their servers or anything. It relies on the blockchain. So you would still be able to do the basic things like sending and receiving crypto. So you would still be able to send your crypto out of your Tangem wallet to like an exchange or to another wallet if you really needed to. Driftwood, you are welcome. 6-8 Shift says, so if I order a ring and a family pack, I can essentially get 6 wallets because of the 2 needed you stated. So I would just pair one of the cards from the ring and to one of the cards from the family pack. 6 wallets. Let's see, you'd have a total of 9 sets. 2, 4, 6, 8. You'd be able to create if you got a ring and a family pack, you would have a total essentially of 9 cards, including the ring. So with 9 cards, let's just call it 9 cards. I know just one of those cards is a ring, but let's just call it 9 cards. You'd be able to create 4 different wallets. This is 2, 4, 6, 8. So one wallet would have 3 cards in it because you would essentially have 1 card left over. So you'd be able to create 4 wallets, not 6. Loyal X says, never buy hardware wallets from anywhere except their website. It will come to you pre-rigged in perfect wrap condition. Is that kind of correct? I mean, that has happened. People have received fake Ledger wallets. And a couple things. It could be like the Ledger wallets that were sent. They were actually modified physically inside the wallet. So that's one way. It could be like physically modified. Or yeah, it could just be already set up and the seed phrase could already be set up. So people who don't know really how cold wallets work, they get the wallet. Oh, it's already set up. I just have to load my crypto on it. And then they do that, and then the scammer just waiting there for crypto to appear on the wallet, and then they already have the seed phrase, so they could just steal your crypto. So those are the two ways that it works and how it has worked in the past, and which is why, yes, you generally want to order from the manufacturer website. However, with Tangem, although possible, it's extremely unlikely because compromising a Tangem wallet, like physically changing the Tangem wallet, is almost impossible because it's just a card. There's no way to really like open up the card and then seal it again without someone noticing. Whereas with something like a physical device like a Trezor or something, like you could technically open this and seal it back up and make it look pretty convincing, but a card is harder. Also, that said, like I mentioned earlier, all cold wallets have a firmware authentication or authenticity check as part of the setup process. So during the initial setup of the wallet, there is going to be the software checks that the hardware and the firmware on your device is authentic. So Tangem does this, Ledger does this, Trezor does this, OneKey does this. So it is unlikely, as long as you know what you're doing, it is unlikely that you would go through with using a compromised wallet because there would be some kind of warning. My thought is just like, why even risk having to go through all that when you could just avoid it by ordering direct from the manufacturer? So yeah. Wayne says, so sorry, Alex. You must think I'm rude. I've been calling you by your surname. Apologies. Doesn't matter to me. Yeah, it's fine. Not rude at all. Whatever floats your boat. And then on Amazon, it's described as a U.S. import. Interesting. So they must only have. They probably have it at. They probably only have the Bitcoin design at their U.S. warehouse, which is probably why it's only available in the U.S. And that U.S. warehouse is located in Salt Lake City, Utah. So that's probably why it's probably just not as efficient for them to ship it. So Pearls of Wisdom says, hi, Skrilla. Is it possible and safe to set up hot wallets and exchanges and update later to YubiKey for 2FA? So for hot wallets, there's not like a 2FA. I've never seen a 2FA on a hot wallet. It's usually just your password or like biometrics. So YubiKey is not going to apply for majority of the hot wallets on the market. For a crypto exchange account, yes, that is possible, but I wouldn't set up a crypto exchange account without 2FA. So at least have some kind of 2FA on there until you get a YubiKey. So whether that's an authentication app like Google Authenticator, or I don't think SMS text message 2FA is that great. I would rather use something like Google Authenticator. But you should definitely have something. Even if you don't have the YubiKey, you should still use some kind of 2FA. Cards shipped from Hong Kong. The cards aren't, I don't think they're shipped from Hong Kong anymore. They used to be. Let's see. I think I just got this one. Let's see. This one, production month. Where does it say? Maybe that's not the right one. Maybe it's this box. Let's see. Production. So yeah, this one, I don't think they're assembled in Hong Kong anymore. They are assembled in Indonesia. So designed in Switzerland, assembled in Indonesia. As far as where it ships from, that depends on where you live. Again, Tangem has warehouses all over the world, the US being one of them. So it really just depends. Let's see. What if Tether Limited goes bankrupt? I mean, it would probably collapse Tether, USDT. and it probably, affect the entire crypto market, but I don't know for sure. Um, yeah, just purchase from the official website. Yeah, as long as you purchase from the official website, you're good. There's been 0 cases of receiving a fake Tangem wallet. That's never happened. But yeah, if you order from the official website, then you're good. Thanks, Loyal. Absolutely. Oh, yep, Loyal. Yep. Silver Pug says, super nervous about cold wallets. I bought Decent wallet because I thought a privacy thing, it was closed source. Tangent because of simplicity and bank card. I wouldn't be nervous to use cold wallets. I would be kind of hesitant to use something like Decent, which is why I don't recommend Decent. But cold wallets have been around since 2014, and they've already been proven secure. I'd be much more nervous about leaving your crypto on an exchange, which has been proven to be way less secure, or in a hot wallet. So yeah, I receive my cards from Hong Kong. Yeah, they have. So Tangem does have warehouses in Hong Kong, but it looks like the manufacturing now happens in Indonesia. But like I said, they have, I think, 6 or 7 warehouses all around the world. And those warehouses are to make their shipping more efficient, which is why Tangem is available worldwide for the most part. I think out of all the cold wallets, Tangem ships to the most locations. But yeah, if you're wondering what this 60% deal is, it's not quite as good as Black Friday, but it's almost as good. This is one of their better deals that they've ever offered. They offered this exact deal before Black Friday, and it applies to the family pack. It's buy one, get one 60% off. So you're getting 1 3-pack for full price and the second 3-pack for 60% off using the link in the description. On the website, it says 50% off, but when you use the link in the description, it does apply the channel code, which is Cyberskrilla. It gives you an additional 10% off, as you can see. Or if you don't like clicking links, you could also just go enter this code yourself down here in the promo code section. You just tap add promo code and you could enter this on your own, and you'll still get this deal. This will also give you 10% off the entire website. So it doesn't just apply to the buy one, get one deal, but it applies to all the products. So if you want like the ring, you can still get 10% off that. But yeah, this is a really good deal because you're getting 6 Tangem cards for only $97. And with 6 cards, you can set up 3 separate cold wallets, all with their own seed phrase, which allows you to diversify your crypto across 3 wallets if that's what you want to do. And you can manage all these wallets in your single Tangem app. Also, because the family pack does come in 2 separate boxes. You get 1 box of 3 cards and another box of 3 cards. You could also gift the second box to someone else if you wanted to do that. So this is still a really great deal. It goes until December 21st. So you still have, what do we got? You have about 11 days to take advantage of this leading up to Christmas. So yeah, links in the description. I also linked my full Tangem wallet user guide in the description if you need help setting up and getting crypto onto your Tangem wallet. That user guide is linked below as well. Thanks for the content on your channel. Best wishes and happy holidays from Mexico. Awesome. Thank you so much. Love Mexico. Probably my favorite place to travel. Yeah, happy holidays. Let's see. What if my phone doesn't have RFC? I think you mean NFC. If your phone doesn't have NFC, then you can't use Tangem. Tangem is a mobile only NFC wallet, so it needs to have NFC to use it. Sorry, I'm replying to 7 Starling. Your phone needs NFC. Ducati Man, thanks, Alex. Till next time. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great Wednesday. Standard black cards assembled in Indonesia, ramen cards assembled in China, both designed in Switzerland, of course. Yeah, I think the ramen cards are assembled in China because they were designed a long time ago. If you look at the production month, this one, all the new ones are being produced in Indonesia. So this one is February of 2025. Whereas if you look on, I don't know, this one says it. I know on my older boxes that were produced in 2024, they were manufactured in Hong Kong. So I think it's just they switched their manufacturer, is what I think happened. Pearls of Wisdom says using text 2FA I am uncertain of safety of biometrics or using Google. I'm learning much from you and appreciate you for being so generous with your knowledge. Absolutely. I will say the downside to using 2FA is that is not secure because of SIM card swaps. A SIM card swap is basically someone who can get a hold of your phone number and they can call your phone company, whatever you use, whether that's Verizon, T-Mobile, and they can request access or change your SIM to their phone. So they literally have access to your number on their phone, and with that, they can send that 2FA to their own phone. So that's why I avoid using SMS 2FA if possible, and why I prefer something like Google Authenticator, which is local on your device. So how do you keep track of your cost basis for crypto sent to the wallet? You'd have to use a crypto portfolio tracker like coinledger.io, unless you want to manually do it yourself. But yeah, you're going to need to use a software to do that. Seven Starling, you are welcome. Compared to Trezor. Trezor isn't an NFC wallet, so like the new Trezor Safe 7, which is my favorite Trezor wallet. So okay, let me just say this: all the previous Trezor wallets, the Trezor Model 1, the Model T, the Safe 3, and the Safe 5, those are not mobile wallets. You really have to use those with a computer, either a Mac, Windows, or Linux desktop device or laptop, because it doesn't have Bluetooth or anything like that. So Trezor will not work with your iPhone, for example. It can work with Android using a USB-C cable, unless you get the new Trezor Safe 7, which is Trezor's first ever completely wireless wallet. That will work on all your devices using Bluetooth. So as long as your phone has Bluetooth or even a USB-C port, then you could use Trezor with it for sure. Let's see. What I like about Tangem, if you plan to buy a bunch of coins and forget about it for 20 years, they're your best bet because no battery to charge. A lot of others are only 3 to 5 years. That's true, but who's to say that crypto wallets will be the same 20 years from now? Like all the crypto wallets on the market today might not even work. Like the technology might change. So I wouldn't. Yes, the hardware in Tangem is designed to last 25 years. That doesn't mean the technology, the blockchain technology that these wallets implement won't change. So that's a big difference there. Yeah. Driftwood, one of the reasons I chose Tangem as well. Silverpug, RWA is real world assets, HBAR, XRP, XLM. Yeah, I mean, Tangem supports all of those. So again, if you want to check, you just go to Tangem's website and to that point, that coin support section. Seven Starling, you are welcome. Thanks for the good questions. Driftwood says, otherwise you'd have to remember maybe after 3 or 5 years to go back to it and move it to another cold wallet. Again, as long as you have your seed phrase, that doesn't matter because you don't have to transfer anything. You just enter your seed phrase into a new wallet. But again, who's to say that seed phrases won't be obsolete 20 years from now? They probably will be. So yeah, I don't know what the future of crypto or crypto wallets look like. I definitely don't see seed phrases as a forever solution. I don't think crypto wallets will always use seed phrases. But who knows? Maybe seed phrases will always be an option, but there will just be better solutions, and as a user, you'll get to decide, right? But yeah, there's no guarantee that any of the wallets on the market today won't be obsolete 5, 10, 20 years from now. And that's the case with any technology. Like, I don't know anyone who's using like an iPhone 5 anymore, right? There's just better options, more secure options, better performance, more security, especially in 2025, almost 2026. Technology is moving faster than it ever has, which also means The cybersecurity space is moving equally as fast, which means updating your products and keeping things up to date and potentially buying new products just to keep up with security is probably unavoidable. So, Seving Starling said, "We will be chipped." Well, I mean, it is prophesized, but only if you allow it to happen. Loyal says, "On our foreheads." Not me, definitely not. Driftwood says, "But I think it'll last longer than 3 to 5 years on a Tangem, and then some of the other electronic ones that have screens and batteries." I mean, yeah, you're just talking about the hardware itself. The hardware in a Tangem wallet is likely to last longer than something with the screen or battery. Yes, that is true. Let's see. Fasal says, "Is the newest app update rectify offline card registration properly, or are we still?" That update has been out for a long time since I made my video about setting up your Tangent wallet offline. That's the current way to do it. So that update's been out for months. That said, you don't need to update, or you don't need to set up your Tangent wallet offline. It doesn't provide any extra security. It's just a feel good feature. Like, people wanted it, so Tangem did it. You're not actually increasing your security doing that, though. When will Tangem Pay come to Europe? I feel like that was part of the initial rollout, wasn't it? Wasn't Europe in there? Let's see. US and Latin America was started rolling out in November, and then EU, UK in early 2026. So probably anytime between January and March of next year. But that's just a guess. That's not a guarantee. And a lot of good questions today. Lots of really good questions. Yeah, I appreciate everyone asking these questions. Is it best to use some wallets for receive only? I mean, you can. You definitely can, but it's all like, yeah, if you just want to have a wallet that you only hold crypto in and you don't do anything else with it, if that works for you, then you could do that, and that's equally secure. I don't think it's absolutely necessary, but I do believe in having your main cold storage wallet. And what I mean by that is whatever wallet you're using to store the majority of your portfolio, you don't use that to connect to websites like decentralized exchanges or NFT marketplaces or places to claim airdrops or mine crypto. Like, you don't do that with your main cold wallet, because then you are exposing your wallet to risk. So 100%, you should have a main dedicated cold wallet that you only use to really receive crypto and hold it. And you could also send crypto from that wallet if you need to, like back to another wallet or back to an exchange. So yes, 100%, you should have a wallet just for that. I've been on the wait list for 6 months, but still no contact from Tangem. I mean, we're all in the same boat. Again, Tangem just started to roll out Tangem Pay in November. So yeah, I mean, waiting 6 months, it is what it is, right? A wait list is just a way for them to contact you when things are ready. So I wouldn't hold your breath. No point in contacting them again. The product will be ready when it's ready. You reaching out to them is not going to speed that up. Again, Tangent Pay is already rolling out for like I said, Tangent Pay, it's coming out in Europe. It's going to be 2026. It's not even available for you yet. So there's no point in reaching out to them. The initial rollout started in November in the US and in Latin America. So it's not even rolling out in Europe yet. Thanks again, Gen X. Appreciate you. That's super cool. Because about less than, I'd say, 6 to 8 months ago, there were very few Gen Xers watching the channel. And I know that because on YouTube, I have an analytics section. I can see like the average age of my viewers. And it was mostly like between 30 to 65-year-olds who watch this channel. But recently, I've seen a lot younger people watching the channel. So it's super cool to see. And I'm kind of curious, like why, Gen X and the younger people are making that shift. I don't know if you have any insight on that, Loyal, but um, like, how did you get into crypto and what made you interested in it? Would be curious to know because it's super cool. I've also seen a lot more females starting to watch the channel. It used to be like, I think it used to be about 3% of our viewers, and now it's getting close to 10%, which is absolutely insane. And females ask really good questions. Not that, the guys don't, but I've just seen like, our minds think differently. So it's cool to see different age groups, men and women. Yeah, it's super cool. Oh yeah, Gen X are the older folks. I was thinking Gen Z. My bad. I don't know what I was thinking. Driftwood got you. Thanks for keeping the info up to date. Absolutely. Yeah, I was thinking Gen Z, but my point still stands. Is I have been seeing a lot more Gen Zers on the channel, and that's exciting. Gen X. Shout out to all the Gen Xers. Y'all have been around for a while, and I do appreciate you asking the awesome questions. I think that's equally cool as well. I mean, like I said, Tangem's the only wallet that I've seen. I think the oldest person I've seen comment on the channel saying they use a Tangem wallet is 78 years old, which is really cool. Because I know 70 plus year olds that don't even use smartphones, right? They're still using their flip phone, which is nothing wrong with that. I just think it's cool that um, even the older generations are getting into crypto. So yeah, you're never too late to get into something or to try something new. Just goes to show. Let's check out what's happening here. Okay, interesting. What's the price of Bitcoin right now? It's like 92,000, almost 93,000. Nice. Eric says, my son, a Gen Z, is now considering more than one source of income due to the current economy. Crypto is one more option. Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think a lot of the Gen Zers have been successful in crypto. That I've even known some Gen Zers who have made like decent money just from trading crypto. But there is a fine line. Just know, and this isn't like financial advice or anything like that. But I'm just saying the current state of crypto, especially now, but even like during the bull run, like if you're trading crypto, it's no different than going to Vegas and hitting the slot machines. It's pure gambling. If you're like trying to day trade or trade meme coins, that is gambling. So I would be very careful because the majority of people, they lose money in crypto. They don't make money. Um, I should say the majority of people who try to trade crypto, they end up losing money. Are there exceptions? Yes, but the exception, not the rule, right? I'm a Gen Xer, 65 years young. There we go. That's super cool to see. It's the future. Everything is digital except money. Yes and no. I mean, it definitely is the future, but money has been digital for a long time. Credit cards, our bank account, that's all digital money. If you try to go to a bank and let's say you have $100,000 in your bank account, if you go to your bank and try to withdraw that, they don't have that money for you. It's literally just digital money on a screen. It's already been that way for a long time. The blockchain is just a more honestly an easier way to track things, and it's immutable, so nothing can be faked. Everything that you see on the blockchain is true, and it's decentralized. So there's not one entity that controls the entire blockchain. It's ran and maintained by computers all over the world. So yeah, I mean, money has been digital for a while. Was there any reports Tangem cards arrived faulty? There have been some people who have received faulty Tangem cards, but those usually present themselves when you initially get the wallet and you try to set up and like one of the cards doesn't work. So that has happened, but there's never been a compromised Tangem wallet that's been sent by like a scammer. I've never seen that. Sorry, Wayne, boomer. Yeah, exactly. Uh, I mean, fiat's not dead because people still use it and businesses still accept it. That said, I mean, we are starting to already see like some people don't won't accept like coins, which is weird. I mean, that is legal tender, that's legal currency. Some places won't accept coins. Um, but I mean, most places still take cash. So it's not saying that fiat is dead. Is it on its way out? I mean, probably in the next 20 years. I don't see it being too unrealistic, but um, I, again, I mean, the future is you'll own nothing and be happy, right? Which is kind of scary. Not necessarily rooting for that, but I do think where we're headed, fiat is or physical tender is on its way out for sure. Jeff Woodward, I just bought it. Thanks. I know I should have bought last week and got the Bitcoin. Yeah, no worries. I mean, a deal is a deal, right? I mean, it's cool when you can get a deal. The free Bitcoin's cool, but I think more importantly, Jeff, you're on your way to securing your crypto and securing your investments. I think that's more important than saving a little money or getting a little extra Bitcoin. But at least you were able to still save some money with this deal. So I'm glad you were able to get in on that. Pearls of Wisdom says, female boomer here, jumped in this year, trying to correct my uneducated mistakes in the space and prevent living in a cardboard box. Absolutely. Well, I think Pearls of Wisdom, I mean, I've seen you in a lot of these live streams and you ask really good questions and you're not scared to ask questions. And I think that's the right mindset to have, especially in the crypto space. So you're crushing it. So just keep going. My son is learning crypto as a long-term investment, like Bitcoin, not all coins. Yeah, super cool. And I'm not saying I have anything against all coins. I'm just saying, you know, they're higher risk plays. So there's a lot of opportunities in crypto, and even in the high risk, high reward, as they say, and that's so true. So I mean, you're probably never going to see a 100x on Bitcoin or like 1,000x at this point, but that still is possible in crypto. So just higher risk. Wayne says thinks he's a boomer born in 1960. I don't know what the cutoff date is for boomer, but I could Google it. So the baby boomer cutoff is generally considered to be 1964. So spanning from 1946 to 1964 is considered boomer era. So I guess technically speaking, yeah, we would be a boomer. 352 Lambo says, Skrilla's on point. I tried cashing a $20,000 check at the bank that gave me the check. They said they actually don't keep any money in the bank. They loan out people money. Exactly. Yeah. The money, they don't, once you give a bank your money, that's how they make their money. They loan your money out to other people. They don't have money to give you. Even for something like $20,000, you'll generally have to come back in like a week or set an appointment to get that money because they just don't have it. So yeah, we've been dealing with digital cash for a long time. So if any of the cards are faulty, will Tangem reship the replacement? I mean, I'm not Tangem, so I can't tell you that for sure. I'm sure it's by a case by case scenario, and that's what I've seen from people here on the channel. But their warranty is a 25-year product replacement warranty. So if you receive a faulty product and they're going to request that you show them that through like a video, they'll ask you questions. As long as you can prove that it's faulty and you received it that way, or that it failed not because of something you did, but just because it's a faulted product, then their policy is that they would replace it for you. Pearls of Wisdom, exactly. Boomers are from 46 to 64. Loyal's young boomer. Nice. Can you swap crypto on Tangem? That's a good question. So yeah, Tangem is a true all-in-one app. You can literally do everything through the app if you want to. You don't have to. But you can buy, sell, swap, stake, and earn yield in the Tangem app. And this is just if you want to see what the app looks like. As you can see, you can buy, swap, and sell. Um, you can also, like, if you click on Solana, well, I guess I don't have any. Yeah, if you click on Solana, you can stake Solana directly in the Tangem app. So you can literally do everything from the Tangem app. I will say that depending on where you live, excuse me. Okay, so basically the buy, sell, swap, stake features, those are all offered by third parties that Tangem has partnered with. In certain parts of the world, like in certain countries, those third party services might not be available. I've seen that on a couple different cases. But if you live in the United States, generally all the services in the Tangem app will be available. But worst case, if they aren't, you can always swap on an exchange and then send it back to your Tangem wallet. Not a huge deal. Loyal says, got to have a safe teacher. Thanks, Rilla. Absolutely. Appreciate the kind words. Jeff says, checks and cash will be gone sooner than 10 years. I already have some cards. You got me to get them a year ago, just getting more. Nice. Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is, like, I go to the store and there's still people writing checks in front of me, and you know, that's just how they've always done it. And they'll probably do that until they're no longer here. So, not to sound like morbid or whatever, but um, once I think the people who use checks die off, yeah, I mean, people just won't use checks anymore. That's just how it's going to work. But also, like, all the industries need to catch up with it. Like, I was trying to put a bill on auto pay recently, and it was crazy the amount of things I had to do just to get auto pay. Like, I had uh, to go in and provide physical forms and like a check and stuff, and it was super bizarre. And I was like, what? I was like, in what world are we still doing this all through paper? It was so weird. Um, Usually with auto pay, you can set that up all on the internet. This was like, oh, you have to come in, you have to submit all these physical paper forms. And I was like, yeah, screw it. I'm not interested. So it's crazy. And the government is so behind when it comes to stuff like that, because this was like for a utility bill. And I was just like, yeah, this is crazy. It's funny because the government expects us to immediately change, right, when they come out with something new, but they're still stuck 40 years in the past themselves. So, pearls of wisdom, absolutely. The bank sent me to Amscot. Amscot had it, but not the bank. Yeah, it's crazy. About the ring, what are you wondering about the ring, Seven Starling? MNES 2025 says, shout out to all crypto enthusiasts. We are early to this space. Absolutely, we are. Still early. When you deposit money into bank, it is theirs. You now have a stake in the bank. Read the fine print. FDIC only has 1 cent per dollar insured. Yeah. Yeah. And most banks only insure up to, generally, I think it's like $250,000. So, Deathline 87, currently using Keystone and thinking about moving to Tangem. Yeah. So, moving from Keystone to Tangem is going to be a huge usability upgrade. Keystone is not the most enjoyable wallet to use. It's also not the most user friendly. Yes, it secures your crypto. But yeah, I mean, if you had the means to do it, I would definitely recommend trying out Tangem. It's a lot more enjoyable to use. It's a lot easier to use. It's a huge upgrade in terms of usability. So yeah, I don't think it would hurt to try it. That's for sure. I mean, I have the Keystone wallet. I've used it. Tangem is by far the better user experience, in my opinion. And like I said, even if you don't want to take advantage of the buy one get one 60% off deal that they're doing right now, the link in the description will get you 10% off whatever Tangem wallet you go with, whether that's the 2 or the 3 card set. So yeah, definitely take advantage of the discounts. But yeah, I think you'll really enjoy Tangem, especially coming from the Keystone wallet. Driftwood, if you hold on to Bitcoin for a year and then sell, does the Bitcoin go up and down in the exchange, or is it only when you bought it for and sold it for? So the price of cryptocurrencies are fluctuating by the second. It's constantly going up and down. So I don't know if that answered your question, but yeah, I mean the price you bought it at is the price you bought it at, and the price you sell it at is the price you sell it at. There's no guarantee that Bitcoin will go up a year from now. If it goes down in price and you sell it, then you would essentially lose money. So brew your own coffee. Black coffee is good for you. Sugar and dairy and all the other uppers can really mess up your leaky gut health. Yeah, so I do black coffee. Like I don't drink coffee any other way. I don't do sugar or I don't do dairy either. I drink my coffee um, just straight up black. But yeah, I just got sick of coffee. I was drinking it for months straight. Um, and I know that the energy drinks, even though this is zero sugar, I know it has the artificial sweeteners in it, which isn't good for your gut health. But it is zero sugar and what else? I mean, it's 10 calories, which I'm not really counting calories, but yeah, I mean, you have to get a good black coffee too, or just a good coffee because a lot of coffee has contains mold and mold spores in it, which can be bad for your gut health. Also, coffee can be rough for like acid reflux because it is very acidic. At least some coffees are. So I do like coffee, but I got kind of sick of it. So olive oil is king for stomach issues. I do have some olive oil, so I could definitely look into that. Um, just joined the live. What's going on? Will when the Tangem Visa card be available? So the virtual Tangem Visa card is already rolling out in some states. I'd recommend updating your Tangem app and see if the Tangem Visa isn't available in your location. The physical Tangem Visa card, I'm not sure when that will be available, but the virtual card is completely free. There's no purchase necessary. You do need to have a Tangem wallet to use Tangem Visa, but aside from that, the virtual Tangem Visa is free. Pearls of Wisdom said, I heard you can contact your phone provider to block card swaps by outing on password. I did it. If it actually works remains to be seen. So, yeah, I mean, everyone does this, but it doesn't matter. Like phone companies, like if you just call your local phone company, um, some of them, even if you enable this feature or whatever, they'll still do it for people because scammers will make up stories like, oh, my brother died and this was his phone and I really need to change it to mine because we need to access his accounts. Like they can make stuff up, and if the employee at the phone company is like, oh, okay, yeah, I got you, like they can still do it. So scammers are smart. Now I'd like to think that they won't allow some random person to access your sim, but that's not the case. So yeah, I would not rely on two-factor, specifically the SMS two-factor authentication. I mean, even when I was younger, I was able to go in and I bought like a phone on my dad's account, and I didn't know his PIN, but they still let me do it. So yeah, it's really up to the employee at the phone company. So yeah, don't trust them. Jeff says, I still use some checks. I'm old. I tell my customers they can pay me in cash, checks, gold, silver, Bitcoin, XRP. Most pay by the first two, and Venmo and Zelle. Yeah, exactly. Hey, I mean, nothing wrong with checks. I mean, we got to wait behind you in line at the store, which is okay. I've seen some people get pretty impatient, but I understand that people still use checks because that's just what they're used to. So it is what it is. Are Tangem's cards quantum ready? Let's say the reset is quantum financial. I found out Decent is quantum ready. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't think Tangem cards are quantum ready, but um, I don't know. There's no such thing as a quantum proof wallet. As far as quantum ready, I don't believe Tangem is quantum ready. So that's not something they've ever advertised. The current price of Bitcoin is pretty much similar to 1 year ago, so no guarantee, but it is very likely profitable after 5 years, especially 10 years. I mean, yeah, right. If Bitcoin goes up, it's profitable. If it doesn't, then not really. So it's true for anything. How do you get tax info off of Tangem for to pay capital gains? You need to get all that information yourself using a crypto tax tool. There's a bunch of them. There's ZenLedger.io. There's CoinLedger.io. I use CoinLedger, but it's a crypto tax tool. You basically enter your wallet's receiving addresses and your crypto exchanges into that tool. It will aggregate all the data from the blockchain, and then it spits out a report that you'll file with your taxes. That's how you do that. 352 Lambo, I drink black coffee with no sugar. I call it dirty water. Yeah, I mean, essentially that's what it is, right? Yeah, I do not like sugar or cream or anything in my coffee. I like black coffee, but like a good black coffee. I usually grind my own as well. I buy the whole beans. I grind it. But honestly, like I grew up drinking soda, which I don't drink soda anymore. But I guess you could consider this similar to soda. Like I'm talking when I was a kid, I would drink a 12 pack of Coke in one day, um, which is why I was so unhealthy as a kid. So this is kind of like my soda fix now when I'm older. I do like carbonated drinks. Again, this is really the only kind of carbonated drinks in that. Other than these things, which I only drink one a day at most, I only drink water. I don't drink anything else. Protein shakes, and even then, I use like a lactose-free milk, like a protein milk. So, heard Google Authenticator leaked. I mean, everything has its problems, but for me, I've been using Google Authenticator for a long time, and I've never had any kind of issue. Um, absolutely, Driftwood, happy to help. Let's see. 907 says, if you put your mobile device that you use for crypto in airplane mode, would that keep the hackers from accessing your data? No. So like hackers and malware isn't at the, so that's how you would initially get the malware onto your device. But once the malware is on your device, it doesn't matter if there's an internet connection or not. Because essentially once you reconnect to the internet, it's already compromised. So with ISO 222, the system's gone. Everything is supposed to be on the quantum financial system. Interesting. Yep. Shout out to everyone in the chat for answering all the questions and for helping each other, helping everyone out. That's what I like to see. Can we load seed phrase from other wallet on Tangem? The idea is to no longer use other wallet, migrate to Tangem. So you can import, yeah, seed phrases are not wallet or brand specific. You could take a seed phrase from one brand of wallet and import it into another. But there are some caveats to this. The first one is whatever wallet you're coming from, the wallet that you're importing that seed phrase into needs to support the same cryptocurrencies. Otherwise, it won't be displayed in your new wallet. It'll still be there. You just won't be able to see it or manage it. So that'd be the first thing you'd want to check. The second thing with Tangem specifically is Tangem does not support multiple receiving addresses for the same blockchain network. So if you're using something like Keystone and you're using 5 different Ethereum addresses, and then you go and import that seed phrase into Tangem, you're not going to be able to see or manage those 5 addresses. You'll only be able to manage one. So quantum readiness means a wallet can handle post-quantum cryptography. Yeah, I understand that. I don't know if Tangem can. I don't know. Sometimes I use vanilla protein powder in my coffee instead of creamer. It's really good. Yeah, I don't usually do protein and coffee. I usually have my protein shake separate, but they do have like protein creamer, which I'm sure is delicious. So it's better to just create a new wallet for compatibility. Yes and no. With Tangem, I'd say yes, because it doesn't have that multiple receiving address support. But also it's like, just to ensure that the seed phrase you're using is secure, it usually is better to just generate a new one. But it's more specific with Tangem. Like, again, it's the multiple address thing. So Checks are only good for sometimes paying utility bills or bills through the mail. Yeah, I mean, I prefer to pay utility bills just, online, preferably auto pay, which, there's issues from that sometimes, but yeah, I'm not a big check writer. Unless I have to, there's no other choice. I will not write a check. Let's see here. But for anyone who's just joining or who's wondering how the deal works, Tangem's Black Friday deal ended yesterday. Excuse me. Their new deal is buy one Tangem wallet set, get the second 50% off. But if you use my link, you actually get 60% off. And that link is down in the description. So this applies to their family pack, which you can see here it says second set 50% off. But again, my link gets you the 60% off. And with this deal, you're getting 6 Tangem cards, which is enough to create 3 separate cold wallets if you want to do that, or you could set up 2 wallets. But with Tangem, you need a minimum of 2 cards to set up 1 wallet. That's why with 6 cards, you can set up 3 wallets if you want to. But the even cooler thing is you can manage all 3 wallets in your one Tangem app. And this allows you to diversify your crypto, to split your portfolio across multiple wallets, to essentially reduce your risk in case one of your wallets is compromised. You don't have all your crypto, you don't have all your eggs in one basket. So I do recommend really anyone who's investing in crypto to diversify their crypto. And I think Tangem offers one of the best solutions to do this. Or even if you don't want to do that and you just want the good deal, you can get the buy one going 60% off. And because it comes in 2 separate boxes, you could also gift the box to someone else if you wanted to do that. If you don't want 6 cards, you could do something like the 3 card or the 2 card set. And the link in the description will still get you 10% off your order. Or even if you want the Tangem ring, you also get the 10% off your order. So yeah, this deal runs until December 21st. At least the buy one, get one 60% off deal, which I think is really the best deal they offer aside from the Black Friday one that they just had. So you do have about 11 days to take advantage of this. But if you have any questions, definitely drop them in the chat. You can treat me like your live tech support. I'm happy to help answer any questions or concerns. Also in the description, not only do I have the link to this deal, I have my full Tangem wallet user guide video that shows you exactly how to set up your Tangem wallet. And in that video, I do it step by step. It's not like overly edited or quick. It's me real time setting up the Tangem wallet on camera, explaining, everything that you need to do. And also in that video, I show you how to send crypto from an exchange to your Tangem wallet and how to send crypto from your Tangem wallet back to an exchange if you ever need to do that. So both those resources are down in the description. Pretty much everything you need to use a Tangem wallet is in the description. Just a heads up. Let's see. 907 says, I see that you don't use Coinbase anymore, or at least you mentioned it in one of your videos. What's the stop of the Coinbase use? Well, first off, Coinbase charges the highest fees out of any crypto exchange. Secondly, Tangem is the worst in my experience for freezing your account and locking your funds. So I had been a Coinbase customer for about 3 years at the time. And one day I bought a decent amount of crypto on there, and they decided to freeze my funds for, it was like 35 days, I want to say, for no apparent reason. I mean, they didn't give me a reason. They just froze my funds and I couldn't access. It was literally my money, it was my crypto, and they didn't allow me to access it. And then my friend who had an account on Coinbase for years as well, I guess someone tried to access his account, and so they locked his account. Now, this is cool, right? We don't want random people getting into our account. However, when he reached out to customer service, he provided everything they requested, his driver's license, proof of address, all that good stuff. They basically just told him, sorry, due to this issue, we just can't help you. So his account was locked for a year. So he literally couldn't access his crypto for over a year about. Um, and that's just unacceptable customer service. And that's the main reason I don't use Coinbase anymore. Now, to be fair, this can happen on any crypto exchange. I just found that Coinbase is the worst when it comes to the sensitivity of locking funds and freezing accounts. And also, again, Coinbase, they just, because they're one of the largest crypto exchanges, they charge the highest fees. Unless you're a paying customer, like a subscriber to their subscription service. Yeah, just not a platform that I want to support. So make sure olive oil is from Spain or Morocco. Don't buy multi countries combined olive oil. Very unregulated. Italy and Turkey have the worst quality. Interesting. I'll have to get some Spanish olive oil. Aaron says, I used your promo code last week for 2 3-card sets. Awesome. Thank you for the support. And I'm glad you're able to get that deal because that was a little bit of a better deal. Same price, but you also got that free Bitcoin. So super cool. Silver Pug, thank you for being informative. It helps to decide based on one's position or goals, including security. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's all we can do, right? I mean, that's why I literally say, I don't just make this stuff up. I always say there's no such thing as the best cold wallet or the best hardware wallet. There's only what's best for you because we all have different goals. We all have, we're all at different levels in our journey and our experience is different. So you have to factor in all of that when choosing a hardware wallet. Because like Keystone, although it's a good wallet and it will secure your crypto, I almost would never recommend Keystone to a beginner or someone who's just getting into crypto or is just getting their first cold wallet. Keystone would be probably one of the last wallets I'd recommend. Whereas Tangem, because of how simple it is to use, that's the wallet I generally recommend. And again, the way I recommend wallets is I do try to, like the videos I make, I try to provide that information, based on these things. This is how you can choose your wallet. But also like even in my personal life with friends and family who are getting into crypto, I generally recommend what I believe will be best for them based on their level. Like, are they tech savvy? Are they not tech savvy? Right? Do they like using their phone or are they more on their computer? So these are all things that I personally consider when I'm recommending wallets to people. So Powell cut rates. Do I buy or sell? My advice is don't ask for investment advice on the internet. I bought second set 50% off from my last purchase using Cyberscrilla code. Nice. Yeah, so you got the 60% off. If you use the Cyberscrilla code, you got the 60% off deal. So I appreciate that. Pearls of Wisdom, is the Trezor Model T safe to use for DeFi buys before transferring to your cold wallet you are protecting? I mean, yeah, the Trezor Model T is still a secure wallet for something like that. I don't see any problem with the Trezor Model T. Silver Pug says, I take silver coins and bars if anyone wants to give it away. I don't think I think I have one silver plate here next to me. Probably not worth much. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not really into the gold and silver stuff, but research polyphenols if you want to feel better. I want you to feel better. Okay, I'll stop now. No, I mean, I don't mind the recommendations. I've definitely have heard of polyphenols. Let's see what that is. Let's just see what a quick Google search says. A large group of over 8,000 natural compounds found in plants. So it's like antioxidants. The flavonoids found in tea, berries, apples, onions, dark chocolate. So I eat a lot of dark chocolate, like pretty dark, like 70% cacao, I think. Abundant in coffee as well, whole grains and fruits. Rich food sources: blueberries, strawberries, grapes. I eat berries. I eat grapes. Um, Vegetables, I could do better on my vegetables. I like broccoli. Carrots are fine. Olives are delicious. I love onion. Spinach, I don't mind. I just don't consume it a lot. Red wine, I don't really drink, but I know red wine does have some antioxidants. So it sounds like I could probably up my intake on some of these things, but I eat a good amount of dark chocolate, so looks like I'm already consuming it to some level. Silver Pug is a boomer. No worries. Nothing wrong with metal either. How much was the cut? I'm not sure. Let's see if we can't find out. Uh, Fed interest rate decision December 2025. Fulfilling expectations of a hawkish cut. The central bank's Federal Open Market Committee lowered its key overnight borrowing rate by a quarter percentage point, putting it in a range between 3.5 and 3.75%. So there's your answer. Have you had any issues with Coinbase or other crypto exchanges porting over your Tangem? By porting over, I'm assuming you mean transferring to Tangem. Not like specifically, and like the crypto exchange doesn't know what wallet you have, so that doesn't necessarily matter. Like Tangem, Ledger, even a hot wallet, that doesn't matter. The issue would just come from sending the crypto externally. And yes, I have had an issue, which was with Coinbase when they froze my funds. They didn't let me send the crypto. So yeah, but generally, I mean, if you've sent crypto, like if it's your first time sending crypto from Coinbase, you could just do a smaller amount at first, maybe do a couple transactions, and basically you're building up that rapport with Coinbase and saying, "Hey, I interact with this wallet address." That way when you go to send the rest, it doesn't like raise any red flags. But in general, like I use Kraken personally, the exchange, and I haven't had any issues sending between my wallets and the exchange. Also, shout out to Anchorage, Alaska, -6 outside this morning. Nice. I've never been to Alaska. My dad did some work there when I was younger in Anchorage. I think he went to Anchorage and he did tile work at the time. I think they tiled the Walmart. I think it was a Walmart that they did there. And this was probably 15 years ago. But yeah, I do remember he took a job in Anchorage, Alaska, and did some tile work there. Does the Tangem app have all the world currencies? Example, CAD to USD. Yeah, the Tangem app has a bunch of currencies, and you can change that directly in the app. So let me see what they have. I mean, yeah, they've got everything, and I could show you that right now. Let's see. So if you, in the Tangem app, to change the world currency, if you go up here to the settings, and then go to app settings. Go to app settings, get in focus here. What's going on? It's not going to work. There we go. Go to app settings, and then you go to app currency, and you can see they have pretty much every option you could ask for. And this list is pretty expansive. So yeah, they do have a lot of different world currencies. Yeah, again, transferring to Tangem, I've never had any issues specifically transferring to my Tangem wallet. Again, the issues would come from if you've never transferred crypto before and you're transferring like a massive amount, that would raise a red flag in the exchange's system. So again, it's not what wallet you're transferring to, it's the amount of crypto you're transferring, and how many transfers you've done from your Coinbase account that would potentially trigger a red flag. I use Kraken, but in terms of fees, I don't think anyone beats Binance. We'll let to know alternative to Binance. So my recommendation, I don't know if you're already using it, but Kraken Pro is what you want to be using, not just Kraken. But Kraken Pro has way better rates and it's completely free. So Kraken Pro is the trading version of the app, and you don't need to create a separate account. It's your same Kraken account information. You just download the Kraken app and you access it that way. So yeah, if you're not using Kraken Pro, use Kraken Pro, and you're going to get way better rates. CZ is not trustworthy in my opinion. No big crypto company founder is trustworthy. Brian Armstrong, definitely not. CZ, probably not. They all have their own motives, right? So yeah, I mean, any of these centralized companies, they're not trustworthy at all, in my opinion. I don't care what company it is. Doesn't mean you can't use their products if you want to, though. Okay, what's going on here on Twitter? Binance owns CoinMarketCap, conflict of interest. I mean, I guess it could be if they're, I mean, it definitely could be. But you have to understand most of these exchanges, they're all guilty of doing probably illegal activities, insider trading. Um, yeah, they're all guilty of it. So, how much is fees if used to Tangem to buy crypto? I think they range anywhere from like 3 to 6%. You definitely notice it more if you're buying larger amounts of crypto. I don't buy crypto on Tangem. I still use my preferred exchange, which is Kraken, and then I send it to Tangem because the rates are better. Um, yeah, because Tangem, again, they use third parties for those buy and sell features, and because those third parties are basically charging you a convenience fee, which is like MoonPay, Changely, and Mercurio. Yeah, you're going to be paying a little higher fees for the convenience. That said, I don't think it's that much less convenient to just use an exchange and transfer crypto to your account. Like I could buy crypto on Kraken and send it to my Tangem wallet in a matter of minutes, which is the same amount of time it takes to buy it directly in Tangem. I'd like to hear your thoughts on quantum locking your wallet by never spending from it in case big bad quantum computers can hack your keys. Um, yeah, I don't know much about quantum locking. I think I know kind of what you're referring to is specifically it's an issue with the Bitcoin network. Like if you're using your Bitcoin address to do anything but receive crypto, like if you're sending from it, that could potentially expose the private key in maybe like a uh, quantum world in theory. Um, I don't know. It's not something that I'm really worried about. It's kind of like maybe not the best attitude to have, but worry about it when it becomes an issue. Um, but yeah, not anything I'm personally worried about. So, and I mean that's again, it's just a theory. I mean, who's to say that that would even prevent that from happening, right? And I think if it ever gets to the point where a blockchain network like Bitcoin is compromised or Ethereum is compromised because of quantum computing, we have a lot of other things to worry about. That's going to affect every industry, not just crypto, military, the entire financial industry, the stock market. We'd have a lot of things to worry about. Gatekeepers. Yep, lots of gatekeepers in crypto for sure. I mean, yeah, I mean, the crypto space, especially the big guys who are already at the top, the Brian Armstrongs of the space, yeah, they do really sketchy stuff. Um, it's a lot of scammy stuff, a lot of bad things happening. So just because a company is public and everyone uses it doesn't mean that there isn't bad stuff going on behind the scenes. And we've seen this. I mean, there's been hundreds of crypto exchanges shut down since 2014. I mean, FTX is a good example of people who trusted uh, Sam Altman, and just because these companies exist and they're reputable today doesn't mean there's not some sketchy stuff going on in the background. C Grande says, I wish to thank you for your instructs. I finally set up Tangem and it was perfect. Happy holidays to you and yours. Awesome. Great job biting the bullet and setting up your wallet. Super happy to hear that you got it set up and you're enjoying it. That's what I like to hear, because a lot of people will get a cold wallet, and I'll see that they'll be on my channel. They'll get a cold wallet, and then it'll be 6 months later. They'll be like, oh, I've had my Tangem wallet for 6 months, and well, I still haven't set it up. I'm just so scared. Yeah, just like anything in life, until you actually do it, it's going to seem scary. So props to anyone who, takes that extra step and actually goes through with it, because that's the only way you learn. And like when I started in crypto in 2020 and I got my first cold wallet, I didn't have the YouTube videos and things like that to help me set it up. I had to go through the motions and learn it on my own. So now, with all the resources we have online, I feel like anyone should be able to figure it out with a little time and effort. So good job. I thought Bitcoin was to cut all middlemen out. Seems like middlemen took over the space. Yeah, exactly. You're 100% right. Yeah, centralized exchanges, they make all their money from fees. They make billions of dollars in fees. So, of course, you think they're not going to get their cut? Of course they are. Do you play Fortnite? I do not. I don't play. I used to be a gamer. I don't play video games anymore. I mean, with the business and family, my time is very limited. So, my brother-in-law plays Fortnite though, and I mean, it looks fun. I'm not like against playing Fortnite. I literally just don't have the time to do it. Knowledge is power. Subscribe and like to get this superpower. Absolutely. If you take the bean, grind it, and make an espresso, it's not dirty water. Dirty water is when it is instant coffee, not dark and watery. Yeah, I don't do instant coffee. I always do whole beans, grind it myself. I use double filtered water. I don't do espressos because I don't have an espresso machine. It is still like a drip coffee, but it still is pretty good. C Grande, and transfer my crypto. I was sweating it without you. Dyslexia issues. Yeah, well, it sounds like you got it done and you did it. So props to you. Instead of the Tangem app, is there a web-based or extension where we can set up the wallet? Absolutely not, and that would be a huge security risk and concern. The Tangem app is the only way to set up the Tangem wallet. It's the most secure way, and the Tangem app is 100% open source. So yeah, absolutely not. That would be a bad thing if there were a way to set up your Tangem wallet outside of the Tangem app. Peer-to-peer, no middleman. What happened? Cut them out. Peer-to-peer only someday. Yeah, I mean, it's hard because there are peer-to-peer marketplaces with Bitcoin, and it's controlled by digital smart contracts, which is fine. The problem with the peer-to-peer is it's really hard to on-ramp, to turn your fiat into to turn it into the crypto, because that means there has to be someone on the other end with that amount of money who's willing to trade their fiat for the crypto, or vice versa. There's just not a lot of people offering that. So we have to use like things like centralized exchanges, which charge us these fees to turn our crypto into fiat or turn our fiat into crypto. But I think we are headed towards some more decentralized exchanges, or some decentralized exchange options, which is pretty exciting. Oh, 5. Let's see. Nice. But that said, maybe I'll do this one last time here regarding the 60% off sale. It's buy one, get one 60% off. So you can get the family pack of Tangem cards for $97. Really, it's $98. And you get free shipping. This is the current Tangem deal. I know it says 50% off here on the website, but if you use a link in the description of this live stream, you're getting 60% off. So you get one pack for full price, the second one 60% off, which is the same deal they had for Black Friday, except you're not getting the free Bitcoin. So it's still a really good deal, because normally you'd be paying $140. So you're basically getting 40 bucks off, a little more. But you're getting 6 Tangem cards, which is enough to set up 3 cold wallets if you want to do that, or you could set up 2 cold wallets. You need a minimum of 2 Tangem cards to set up 1 wallet. So with 6 cards, you can set up to 3 wallets and manage all those wallets with their own seed phrase in your one Tangem app on your phone, which is super cool because this allows you to diversify your crypto across multiple wallets, which if you hold any decent amount of crypto, you should really consider diversifying it, not keeping all your eggs in one basket. This is one of the best ways to reduce your risk in the crypto space is diversification. And the Tangem family pack is probably one of the most seamless and convenient ways to do that in crypto. Like I said, you can set up 3 different wallets, all with their own seed phrase. And this is the best time to do it because you're getting 40 bucks off this deal. 97 bucks, that's the price of most single hardware wallets cost. You're basically getting 3 wallets for the price of 1. Or if you don't need that many cards, you could always gift the second box to someone else because it does come in 2 boxes. You get each box has 3 cards. Also, the cool thing is you get to choose between the two types of designs. So the first box is either classic black or the stealth. And then the second box, you can choose from all these limited edition options, which they have a ton to choose from. The Snowy Sakura, which is this one here on the right, is probably my favorite Tangem design. It's their newest limited edition one, limited quantity, even comes with a limited edition box. So that's probably my favorite. But even if you don't want the buy one, get one 60% off deal, you don't need 6 cards. You could also use the link and still save 10% off your entire order. So you could get a 3 card set or even a 2 card set and save some money. Or you could get the Tangem ring for about 25 bucks off if you're looking for something like that. But the buy one, get one 60% off deal ends December 21st. So you have about 11 days to take advantage of it. The 10% off deal, you get 10% off the website year round using my link or my discount code, which if you don't want to use a link, you could just enter this code to get the additional deal. Just enter Cyber Skrilla down here where it says promo code. You can just enter it right here. So yeah, that's the deal. And it's still pretty good. If you missed the Black Friday deal, this is another opportunity. Added my new 3 Tangem wallets to the app after getting that amazing Black Friday deal plus your coupon. It worked great. Thanks again. Awesome. Well, cool. That sounds like, I mean, you did everything right. Not only did you get the deal, but you got it set up on your Tangem app. Super cool. The ramen card is no longer produced, it seems. Yeah, I don't see the ramen card on here. Again, all these ones here, these are limited edition collections. So they are limited quantities. Once they run out, they run out. So they may have ran out of the ramen cat one. I will be positive and try to help others out. Exactly. But yeah, I think if you have any final questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'll probably stay on here for another couple minutes. So yeah, this is just treat me as your live tech support. Any questions you have about anything, doesn't have to be about Tangem or this deal or anything, just any questions you've got about crypto security, cold wallets, crypto exchanges, whatever it is, just drop it in the chat. I'll do my best to answer it. If there's no more questions or comments, I'll probably jump off here in a minute. Again, the link to this current sale is in the description of this live stream. Also down in the description is my full user guide. It's a video that shows you exactly how to set up your Tangem wallet, even if you've never set it up before or set up a cold wallet. Also shows you how to send crypto to your Tangem wallet from a crypto exchange and how to send crypto from your Tangem wallet back to a crypto exchange if you ever need to do that for some reason. All those resources are down in the description. So the ramen card is super cute. I would even say pretty much stealth in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these designs could be considered a stealth design, right? Because maybe not the Bitcoin one. But like this, the American flag one is pretty stealth just because it doesn't have the Tangem logo. The Snowy Sakura, which is my favorite design by far, is also pretty stealth. So the outlaw phrase or no, it's up to you. Seed phrase or no seed phrase. So you have to understand the risk of using a seed phrase and not using one. So the reason Tangem says that using a seed phrase is safer is because a lot of people, mainly beginners who are just getting into crypto, especially wallets, a lot of them get hacked because they expose or share their seed phrase with hackers or scammers. As long as you know not to share your seed phrase with anyone, that's not going to happen to you. So I prefer to use a seed phrase. Now, here's why. Tangem, if you set up your Tangem wallet without a seed phrase, so you do a seedless wallet, your seed phrase is never known by you or anyone, and it's only stored on the cards. The problem is if you ever lose both of these cards or if they're both damaged, then you would lose access to all of your crypto because you don't have the keys. That's why I prefer to know my seed phrase. So not only do you have your cards that act as your backup, they still have the seed phrase on them. But then even if I lose my 2 cards, I still have my seed phrase, which I keep stored on a metal seed phrase plate. And I can simply take that seed phrase, enter it into a new wallet. Doesn't even have to be Tangem, it could be Ledger, and I can access my crypto. So that's the main difference, right? Is the backup and how it's backed up. So it's really up to you. I like to use a seed phrase. There are plenty of people who use Tangem without a seed phrase and love it. It really comes down to what you want. But the cool thing is you get to choose that. So yeah, good question. Fasal says phrase is recommended. And again, it depends on who you ask. If you ask Tangem or if you look on their website, it says they recommend using their wallet as a seedless wallet. Whereas me, I prefer to know my seed phrase. So yeah, really good questions. Let's see. Let me check on Twitter and make sure no one had any questions over there. Looks like Twitter's good. Okay. Let's see. What is going on here? Okay. It's like we got one more question. When I set up the seed, can I really recover all of my crypto? Is each Tandem card a separate cold wallet? So yeah, when you have your seed phrase, that is the keys to your crypto. Your seed phrase is essentially the wallet. The seed phrase gives you access to all of your crypto on the blockchain. So if you hold Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, it gives you access to all of that. And you can take that seed phrase and really use any hardware wallet to access your crypto. As long as that hardware wallet supports those cryptocurrencies, you'll be able to access it. Each Tangem card is not its own wallet. You need a minimum of 2 cards to set up one wallet. So if you get a 2-card pack, for example, the 2 cards they hold the same seed phrase, so they work interchangeably as the same wallet. If you want different wallets, then you would order something like this deal, the family pack, where you get 6 cards. That way you could set up multiple wallets. With 6 cards, you can set up 3 wallets, each with their own seed phrase. So hopefully that makes sense. Not each must be at least a pair of 2 cards, exactly. Yeah, it's probably been one of the most productive live streams. We've had a lot of good questions, a lot of people helping out in the chat. I'm super happy about that. So shout out to everyone in the chat. Thank you for helping out. Thank you for keeping the good questions coming. Fasal says, hence buying a family pack, 2 sets of 3 cards equals 6 cards. 6 card divided by 2 equals 3 wallets, exactly. The Outlaw Torn, thanks for answering that, bro. Absolutely. Yeah, it's a common question. And like I said, ultimately it's your decision, but I do like to just share the difference between using the seed phrase, not a seed phrase. So it's a question that I do like to talk about. Loyal says, I like your channel. Thank you. I like your questions. Why do exchanges follow IP addresses, especially when I have my VPN on? I noticed they would kick in security features, 2FA, passcodes, and facial recognition. it can stall your access. Yeah, I mean, yeah, exchanges use a lot of different things for, they'll tell you for security reasons. So if you're using like a VPN when using an exchange, this can raise a red flag in their system, and it to their system, which is mainly controlled by a bot and by artificial intelligence. That's telling their system that, hey, maybe someone from another area has accessed or is trying to access this person's account, which can cause a lot of issues. So that's probably one reason why they track your IP address, so that they know what IP addresses you generally access the account from. They also know what device you're using, whether it's an iOS mobile device, an iPhone. They probably even know maybe what model of device you're using. So yeah, I'm sure there's lots of reasons why they know all that stuff, but part of it is for their security system. Thanks for taking the time to answering my questions. Cheers and take care. Absolutely. Thanks for the questions. Let's see. You set up a different seed phrase for each wallet like Trezor and Tangem, right? I'm not sure what the context to that question is, Pearls, but yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure. Like if you get the family pack of Tangem cards, again, if you have 6 cards, then you can set up 3 different wallets. Is what I was saying. So each 2 cards could have its own seed phrase if that's what you want to do. So I don't know if that's what you're referring to. But yeah. What's an IP address? An IP address is, to my understanding, it's kind of like a your physical home address, but it's assigned to really any device on the internet. So it's an identifier for your device on the internet, basically, and it allows services and companies to find and identify and communicate. So I don't know. It's basically just an identification tool for your specific device and your internet connection. Have you ever used Decent Wallet? I also have the biometric one. I don't. Decent is one of the only wallets I don't recommend. I have the Decent wallet. I don't use it. I don't recommend anyone use it. Reason being, it's 100% closed source. And the downside to closed source wallets is if there's any vulnerabilities or backdoors, like if the company is malicious, not to say that Decent is, but it is possible. No one would know that. Like if they have access to your keys, no one would know because they don't tell anyone. So yeah, Decent, 100% closed source. I've talked to the team. They don't plan on ever open sourcing their wallet. So not one that I would feel comfortable using. Pearls of Wisdom, Trezor and Tangem have their own seed phrase. I mean, all wallets have their own seed phrases, but you can take a seed phrase from one wallet and use it in another wallet. A seed phrase is not brand specific. Different seed phrase for different brand of wallet. It's up to you. Again, seed phrases are not brand specific. Seed phrases is a cryptographic algorithm, you could say. It's not doesn't have necessarily anything to do with the brand of wallet you're using. There's no such thing as a Tangem seed phrase and a Ledger seed phrase. It's just a seed phrase. It's a BIP39 seed phrase, which is the BIP39 protocol. It's how seed phrases are generated. So hopefully that answers your question. Let's see. What does IP stand for? Internet Protocol, I believe. Let's ask Google. Yeah, the Internet Protocol is the network layer communications protocol. Yeah, Internet Protocol. Intercept point, but that's for, I guess, military. So Internet Protocol it is. Absolutely, absolutely. All right, well, unless anyone has any other questions, I think I'm going to hop off here. Again, the link to the buy one, get one 60% off deal is in the description of this live stream. If you don't use that link, you won't get the additional 10% off. It will be the 50% off. So yeah, if you want to get in on this deal, links in the description. I also have my full Tangem wallet user guide in the description. If you need help setting up and using your Tangem wallet, all the resources are in the description. A little bits has a question real quick though. Can't you make 5 wallets with 6 cards if you just keep resetting one card and you import your own seed phrase? No, you can't do that because you always need 2 cards to import the seed phrase. I'm just trying to think, because if you set up a 3 card pack and then you factory reset 2 of them, I think you might be able to actually, but it could get kind of it could become an issue though. I don't think Tangem is actually designed that way. I think you could technically do it, but I don't think I would do it that way because you could run into some issues. Tangem is designed to work with 2 cards minimum. Now, like if you lose one of your cards, the 1 card will still work, but yeah, I don't think I would do that. Anyways, thanks for joining the live stream. Thanks for all the good questions. Hope you all have a blessed Wednesday. God bless you all and peace out.